Mr. Panulo, you are the man. So, appreciate you, brother. So, is everything checking to be exactly what we said it was going to be today? Leah, how are you doing? There's the family. Mikey J, you are the goat. um, let's see. I mean, the tricky part here was since we closed at 3:13:02, I think yesterday. Uh, yeah, Leah, I wanted to go lower too, but like I said, it's still possible. I mean, there's still, um, you know, let me check the repo operations real quick. Yes, the day before yesterday, guys, the repo operations were 1.9, almost $2 trillion. That's right after, I remember on the 12th, um, they added three new counterparties, which was Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and I think New York Bank. Um, you know, Future Whale, what's up, brother? Um, it's and wow, guys, today is 1.987. We're 13 billion away from $2 trillion in repo and reverse repo transactions. Wow, 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 wow. There you go, Feds. There you go, guys. There's your Feds. Oh, wow. He supports. I wanted to do also a. I was listening yesterday on the Discord. Jeffrey shared the. Sorry, it was Pabloco. He shared uh, the that Kenny Griffin interview, and I wanted to do some sort of reaction to everything he said. I mean, there was a plethora of things that were in that interview um, that can be commented on or can be absorbed from that. I can't even write it down as notes. It's one of those things where you just have to like play it and explain as it goes. Um, there were some things that he said in that interview were spot on, not his words. I feel like they were too intelligent for him. Um, there were there were he said some things, some lines that only in an analytical or uh, a futures and analytics individual would be able, like terms. Like he said it in terms that just people for that profession and analytics, that is, he said it in those terms, so which tells me that someone someone from his team in Citadel sat him down and said, say la, 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 exactly as it goes to sound smart. um, and they did make him sound smart in some parts, but the rest was I mean, from the beginning, him sitting, if you as soon as I started the interview, when I saw him sitting, you gotta pay attention to body language. Politically speaking, when leaders of nations meet and they sit next to each other in a debate, and the cameras are live and everything on them, you always see they will, like, one is trying to out dominate the other, and normally that goes with the crossing their legs as they're sitting, and then the placements of their hands as they're speaking. So when you see how King Griffin was sitting, he was trying to impose his will and impose his dominance on the entire group slash whoever is being, whoever's watching through the camera. uh, he gives that appeal through that body language. Those are things that are little, but they're big. So he tried to do that stuff. It was funny. I liked it. The fact that he said that we're about 2 quarters away at least, um, that is to trap people, because there are the herds out there that really run after this guy, um, and people like him. So whatever he says, people just flock after it and follow it word by word. Um, he did say that the recession is imminent. Look who's saying it. It's not just us. You know, people were labeling us as hypocrites or conspiracists, and now you're seeing that across. Like when someone like him that they supposedly trust, someone like King Griffin, says that it's imminent, it's gonna happen. Now, first there was no talks about recessions. Now, when he says that, watch how the media is gonna start absorbing this slowly by slowly, and you're gonna see the people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, there is a recession. Duh, everybody knows that." So when you tell someone, "Hey, be careful from the recession," they're gonna be like, "We know it's coming." Well, what happened when I was telling you guys all this all along a year ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago? We knew it was coming. See, the world is hypocritical. The world that we live in general, just so that they won't give you the benefit of you got this or you found this, your credit, um, which again, because it happened with me yesterday. It literally happened with me yesterday. I was at the cafe and I was speaking with some people, and I spoke to them about this stuff like 8 months ago. I mentioned to them briefly that that we're going into really rough times, and some advices here and there, as in like what to do. Um, and they didn't take it seriously. I could tell, like, when someone is taking you seriously, they take you seriously as you say what you're saying, but after you say what you say, some people are slick like that in life. They will hear what you have first. At least they give you the benefit of the doubt, but then after that, they balance it out. And if it's not within their interest, then they tell you to go f yourself in politeness. Um, and that's what I got from these guys. So I meet them again yesterday, and as I'm passing by, getting my coffee from the 86 Club, and my espresso, and these guys were sitting there, and I kind of briefly joined them as I'm standing, and I say this stuff, and they're all like, "Yeah, we know that this is coming. We just need to prepare for this." And it's like, wow. I remember a few months ago, like you guys were all talking about, I don't see that happening. The market is in a booming place, and we're housing. Look at housing; it's a seller's market, which makes me feel better. When it does go down, no one can come and blame a retailer like me. Hey, I'm broke because of you. you knew, you knew it was coming. Okay, the beautiful part here is, sorry, I'm reading something real quick. Okay. So, you beautiful people, so far we're looking at this. The reason why I'm named this the week of doom, um, is because last week is because, as you can see, do you know how many people? Just imagine how many people have been losing, and it's not just retail, but smart money too. Do you know how many people have been falling in traps left and right? How many times this week alone, just this week alone, have you seen the stock market do a catastrophic run then turn around and do everything is fine now. This is it. We bottomed out. And then it does another catastrophic run. Uh, so basically this week was, unless you were walking in, unless you stayed out, you were walking in, and the only way you were going to win is if you walked in with daily trading anything you were in. Literally day trading left and right. That's the only way you would have survived or profited this week in the market, throughout the market. As you can see, people who walked in with crypto, my coworker is just getting into these trading and keeps telling me about these buying opportunities. It breaks it breaks my heart. Yeah, you see, Mikey J. It's as you can see, guys. Again, Bitcoin is right back where it went off from. It did this a couple of times this week, where it dropped into the 28s, and then it bounced off to the 30K, and then it consolidates there, and then does the same thing a day or two later. Nothing new, nothing different. Same as with the other coins. Obviously, the battle is on. Now, here's one key takeaway for this week, guys. What you want to really pay attention to, my validation on the fact that the entire upper class is battling Elon Musk is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, guys. A lot stronger. If you wanted to have a key takeaway, it is Tesla that dropped the most this week. Today, we touched a low of 633, and it's just ludicrous to see this right here, right now, as we speak, and at the timing, and also as it's going down. There's that who shared it? I think it was Pabloco as well that shared. It's either Pabloco or Mikey that shared. That scandal about the sexual advancement that Elon Musk is taking care of right now. The case that he has, some flight attendant situation. I read the whole thing, and he said that he's going to get a lot more public attacks from unknown sources. So I think he knows. I literally think he knows what's up, and obviously they know what's up. It's just us. The world needs to know what's up, 100%. I think this is a full-on launched war on him. I mean, 633. We're about $60 away from from Tesla's 52-week low, which was when the close of the market. Help me make this make sense, guys. How do we? How do we? At some point, we're going to reach that 5. I mean, it's just imminent at this point. We're going to reach that 500, and when we reach that 500, how will it make sense that Tesla is at a 500 something, sub 500, and the market is open, yet at 545, that's what it was valued at when the market was shut for COVID. It makes zero sense where it will be in the same realm, unless, realistically speaking here, that 545 or sub 500 for Tesla is like its breakdown. Because now, if Tesla obviously does the anticipated move that it says that it's going to do, a reverse stock split, I think it's perfect timing to do it. I literally think it's perfect timing to do it, because to do it, he's going to hurt a lot. I mean, there's a lot of attacks. Like I said, there's a lot of ways, artistic ways, that he could do to obliterate these people. I mean, Tesla is shorted like crazy as well. I mean, okay, not financial advice, guys, not financial advice. Okay. When Tesla bottoms out, and bottoming out is every single one of you guys will have their way. I know you guys are twisted and smooth and very wrinkle brained. Um, that, my friends, Tesla stock is the ultimate options play. Again, not financial advice because I don't have a financial advice degree or establishment or any of that stuff. I might be speaking stuff, and who knows, the hookah might be inspiring it. Just protecting my bases, guys. But Tesla is the ultimate options play uh, ever, because it's imminent that you see. Okay, for those of you that can't believe seeing AMC in 4 digits or GME in 4 digits, if you were to take out one of those two and you put Tesla in between, let's say Tesla became the meme stock instead of AMC or GME, would you be more comfortable expecting Tesla going into the 4 digits or not? The answer from me is, of course, heck yes, because it tasted that water, or it tested those waters before. It was obviously 1,200, and that was even an understatement because Tesla is valued at somewhere around $2,000 or $3,000 a share, realistically, away from the times that we're in. Keyword: away from the times that we're in. But if it was hypothetically to squeeze, if shorts got squeezing out, and the Bill Gates that have a billion or $500 million worth of position of short position on Tesla, right now it's a battle, guys, and it's a battle of a club that we're not in, and we're not welcomed in. That's just how it is, and we don't want to be in, honestly. If you want my advice, um, but it's crucially important that you know there's a saying that says his evil is much worse than his evil. And I would rather Elon Musk winning this war or this battle that's going on right now in that club, than having a Bill Gates or someone else winning it, or BlackRock or whoever not. But the problem is, that's the biggest problem, is the BlackRock, because they they have a lot of assets, trillions of dollars worth of assets. And let's see. So yes, so when Tesla bottoms out, that's the where you got to keep your eye on. That's the play that could easily rip through, and whew, on the options chain, that's a nightmare for them. Let's see what do we have here. Pabloco, what's up, AB? How low do you think GME will go? I'm looking uh, to up my position. Okay. Well, as you guys can see, yesterday I said they had placed their cap on that $100 level. And as you can see, we touched 102, and it's a straight drop, singing on the way back down. Free falling, and I'm free. So right now we are at 91. We touched 89.75. I think that by 3 o'clock, we're going to see if this trend reverses and we go back to the VWAP, which is somewhere around 94, 95 bucks. So we should either, excuse me, close somewhere around 94, 95. If we don't, and we dipped into the 89.75, I personally think, so 94, 95 is most expected. Let's see. But worst case scenario, we're looking at free falling. um, ah. So it looks like they definitely want to, wow, unless this is retail, they definitely want to bring it under 90. So you're looking in the 80s, some comfortable place in the 80s. Ooh, that's a hidden gem. 85. Yeah, the number they're targeting is $80, which is at this point is not really too hard. Uh, it is about 10%, another 10%. So making a total of 17 or 18%. That's a little too exotic. I don't know. Uh, uh, so put it this way: worst case scenario, they want it to close at the 80 or the 80 between 80 to $82. Most expected case scenario here is 94 and 95. So one thing we're definitely were correct about yesterday was it was not going to go above 100. And guess what? Well, it's still time. And then same thing with AMC. Remember the case that I said? Yes, exactly the words that I said. We could. I wish we had that software where we could go ahead and replay yesterday's talk, just clip a certain amount. But if you guys remember, I said AMC, they want it under the worst case scenario, they want it around 8, but that's a little too exotic probably in one session. Again, nothing is too crazy anyways for these days, whether to the upside or the downside. But I said that since we started at 1308 or 1302, that's the price we closed at yesterday, right? 1308. By the time the stock drops to, which it did today, 1153, we're dancing we're dabbling right now, currently right around it, so it could drop a little more. Those $11 puts or $10 puts, even $9 puts or $8 puts, those were if they were printed out for this week, they're out of obviously the money and they're gone. They could have easily exercised them or got out of them yesterday. And today the numbers you see it if obviously if everybody got out. Let's look at it real quick. As far as the 11s, yeah, see 11 is already most of them are already sold. Ooh, 10 and a half is not. Same as 10. Wow. So it's still we're still looking at the worst case scenario of 8. Uh, and I don't see any of that happen. And that could easily be a setup that retail have done or put in. Because I can see the open interest is pretty high, but the volume is pretty low, extremely low, not just low, like extremely, extremely low. So yeah, these were purchased way out long, 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 long ago. Um, with people who was hoping that the price would be is this low by now. That's crazy. But most of these contracts, as of the beginning of this week, were already out of the. And now we just look at that. We just went down a little bit lower. 1151, 50, 1150 now is the today's low. Um, yeah, it's still tricky on the options chain for AMC. We were able to see that we're not going to go above. Um, this is weird, man. This is a weird chain though. This week it's pretty weird because the people are not letting go of their calls, even though there's more puts in that range. Sorry guys, I'm just doing this weird make it make sense part of the show. So 12 and 12 and a half is out of the question now. Most of these calls are out. Um, yeah, I hope AMC goes even lower. And as you can see, it is starting to push down. But worst case scenario, I had it as in the 8s. I don't see some sort of exotic in 1 hour uh, or an hour and a half where we go another. Wow, you're talking about like 25, 26%. or even 30% in this case, gone from the stock in an hour and a half. I don't see that happening all the way down to the 8. Um, Again, sometimes if they know that they lose, if they set out if they threw out an egg to lose, knowing that they're going to lose, but it's much less of a loss than the loss that we take, that's a win for them. So I'm 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 gonna say I'm inclined to say either the expected price for AMC is to bounce up somewhere around the upper 11s, bottom 12, something like that. And the worst case scenario, that's the expected case scenario. The worst case scenario is going even crazier and dipping into the tens, uh, mid tens, upper tens, and that's where I see it. Preparing us for a next week. Um, it's just amazing that we're being so correct from yesterday on this stuff. So if you if you acted, I mean, if you were watching the pre-market, there's no way you probably was up. If you were up in the pre-market and you were watching the movement, you were like, there's no way AB was going to be correct today. He's screwed up. Haha, I can't wait for the live to pop up so that I can rip AB a new hole. And guess what? Haha. uh, he should buy AMC first and then do stock split. Ryan Lawrence, hey, the it's unlimited. The abilities from Musk are unlimited. And here we go. AMC is a little bit on the down again now. 11:45. Um, Tiny investor, how are you, my friend? Long time. AB, I want to hear you take on Kenny G's most recent interview. Yeah, it's 46 minutes long. So uh, if you guys want to, then I'm gonna dig deep into trying to get that software and try to get him to play so he can be talking and I can pause it and then I can speak over it. Um, yeah, if you guys want, I could try to do something like that. Hopefully, it could be in time before the interview becomes insolvent. Mikey J, would it work to set limit orders at high numbers, 100,000 that expire in 90 days, or would that not work in a squeeze? Here's the problem with that, Mikey. As you're adding those on, that adds selling pressure on the stock. Yes, I know it's not selling it because the price is not there, but it's still in the works. Like it's kind of like he is being asked for. Um, at the end of the day, no one can tell no one you can't do that, and no one can like force you not to do something. You could do it for sure. Um, the problem is in the squeeze. I know that there's going to be, if for example, your broker has to be an in after hours and market hours broker, because if you're going to do something like this, you're going to want to put it as an order that is going to be, throughout all market hours, whether it's market hours or after hours. That order is basically set to fill. Uh, so you need to have that. If you don't have that, then that is incomplete. It's kind of like half of the equation for you. If you do have that broker and everything is set for that, that's the only way that you could set something like that. But here's where you also could have a problem. Um, as you put that, when things are being moving, like when the squeeze is moving like crazy and numbers are moving crazy and all that stuff, I can see when somebody does something like that, Mikey, when they already did what they need to do, they took care of themselves, and they left certain amounts or whatnot for you know the YOLO or the FU part of the market. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. Everybody does what they want to do. I'm just like giving out what the tendencies out there are for other people and with other traders. Um, because once again, do we know a particular price that the market will go to? Like, do we even know 100% if AMC would even go to $30? I mean, I know it was certain between us, and we would love to, and we know that it's going to go, but is it happening yet? No. When this process starts, do we know how high it will go? No one knows. The potential, we all know. What we want, we all know, but we don't know that. So that's why you got to always cover your bases. This is AB's formula. Cover your bases, take care of yourself, so you can always come out on the winning end, never on the losing end. And afterwards, you can go ahead and, you know, uh, like, for example, if this hypothetical, again, example, if this situation that we're in with the squeeze does not resolve itself the way that we anticipate it will resolve itself, I will still be good. AB will be good, because I will adjust my plans to take care of what I need to take care of. Uh, but that only means that I will hurt them regardless. Like, the war is not over between me and them, and I really take it that way. As far as Wall Street, it is a war between us and them. They made it personal. If you don't think they made it personal, go look at their last tweet when they're all gathered up in AMC uh, to do a special screening or whatever, and put their logos, their initials on the screen, on the big screen. Citadel. They made this personal. They know that it is personal. For them, it's personal. So if it's personal for them, it's personal for me now, Uh, so it, I'm going to take care of myself no matter what at the end of the day. No one is going to come help wipe your tears. Take that with a grain of salt, guys. As I said, no one is going to come help wipe off your tears or give you a hug. And neither would that do anything different or change your reality. Um, does that mean, with that being said, does that mean AB is talking about paper handing? I'm the last person to talk about paper handing. September 2020, September 9, September 2020 until today, didn't sell a single share of either AMC or GME. I've been only been accumulating, and I went through the $72 rise, and I did not sell. Um, Now, obviously, GME, I kept adding more. I didn't have it since September, but AMC, that's when I was getting into it with. And I was really bummed out when in January, GME ran off. And I know they didn't squeeze because apparently that was not a squeeze. The shares were not covered. Um, but at least it was allowed to run to the 400s. And AMC, went up to 27 and then boop, clamped down. That right there, I know so many people. One of them was my own brother that sold his entire AMC position. It wasn't big. His position was only about, at that time, 400 shares, but because AMC was cheap, so he was able to get something like that. And at that time, it was small. He sold it, and he's not a market person. He sold it all and he left anyways. He was only in the market anyways because of, Zomedica. He made some money on that. 2020 shut down. He knew that there was opportunities. They were all there. So he just jumped in to make some of that money. Anybody would have jumped in at that time and made money. You all probably did as well. Any of us did. Just about anywhere you threw your money, you knew you were good. But he got really pissed off of what just happened because he was with Robinhood as well. And majority of the community was with Robinhood back then, talking about January of 2021, end of December 2020. But it was a bummer. I mean, I almost nearly felt the same. Like, you know what? I was like, screw this market. I don't want to be a part of something like this. Are you kidding me? How do they just do this? Like, suspend the stock from trading, and then 2 days later, like after the weekend passed, then they turn it back on, and everything was cooled. Like, it's like they brought fire extinguishers and just like whoosh, blew it all over the whole thing. And obviously, from that point on, from that day on, we were just dancing. We went back down to the $7, $6, $8, $9 range, and we kept dancing around that 8 to 12 range until June came, and May 2021 came, and then we started taking off. And then you guys know what happened on June 3rd of 2021. So yeah, AB is not talking about paper handing, guys. I'm just talking about when we're up in these ranges and in that zone, have your contingencies and have a certain amount set on the side for yourself, that amount is your security deposit. Take it like as your security deposit amount that is only for you to take care of you in case everything goes south. And it's not going to take care of you as in like, it's just like a lifeline or a lifeboat. And it's not big enough to take care of you for good, life changing money, obviously, but it's good enough to get you to stand on your feet again, to do this again in case, you know, things get prolonged again, or cans get kicked down the road, or, you know, we get a run up and it's not really the squeeze or whatever the case may be, you know. AB always tries to set you up and clear your bases. If you watch me, you know that I'm always going to give you talk that leaves you covered all around from every aspect or every angle. And that's what matters the most, because it's not about just how, oh, we got to play, and yes, oh, he's hyping us up, oh yes. What about when all hell is breaking loose? What are you going to need then? You're going to need obviously to be like, I wish I'm not in this position. That's what you're going to need. Those are going to be the words that are going to be echoing through your head. I wish I'm not in this position. All that hyping and shit is not going to do nothing for you. That feeling right there, when you feel like I wish I'm not here, the regret, that's really harsh and really important not to have on your mental health in general. It's crucial on a human, because it hurts you in more than one angle, in more than one way. It hurts you in the stock market. It hurts you in your confidence, in your self-esteem, in every angle you can think of. And it can water down all throughout your daily life in every aspect. Like, you could go and try to have a conversation with someone, or people want to talk with you, and you're not in the mood. You're like shady or whatever, you know, because again, it sinks in. That reality sinks in. And AB cares about all that stuff. And, you know, it's all about moving forward. At the end of the day, our lives were moving forward before these stocks came. And now these stocks came, and we saw the opportunity that we can make out of this to change our lives. But our lives were still moving regardless. It's not like we were born for AMC or GME, or GME was, the way I see it, as AMC and GME were born for us. But without them, our lives are still whole. We still are going to live. We still have to live. No matter what the life is, the quality of life that we have, we still have to live. So with that mindset now, when you think like that, you're like, okay, I'm not really married to any of these stocks then. You begin to think that you're not married to these stocks. These are your absolutely those are your most important tools right now for financial freedom, but you're not married to them. When it's time for them to go, you're going to let them go. You're going to let them go. That's just how it works. I'm going to let them go. When it's time, I'm going to let them go, but for their right value, not for an undervalued situation, you know? And at the end of the day, remember, the government holds some cards that we just don't hold. So you have to make a decision also. What are you willing? What are you willing to let go? Or how far deep are you willing to go with this? You know, you have to make all these commitments. You have to ahead of time, not until it gets there, and be phased with the outcome. You have to give that commitment to yourself and say, hey, can you handle if they do people wrong again this upcoming June? If the president, for example, you know, transforms this into another year of weight on the collateral and all that stuff, can you take it? Can you handle it financially and emotionally? Can you do it? And if the answer is yes, then go in, don't even look back and don't think twice and don't worry about the line and don't even ask about the price. You know you're on a set mission and you're not going to settle for anything less. The answer is I'm not sure, or ooh, I haven't thought about it this way, then you need to make some contingency plans. I'm giving you the real, guys. I'm giving you the real. I'm pretty sure you probably have, most of you have already thought this out at a much earlier stage, but the ones that haven't and joined in on the hype, you should, so that you don't, one, hurt yourself and hurt the community down the line as well. We're set. The way I see it is we're set. I've been, whatever the term is you want to call, whether diamond hand or diamond ball or whatever the hell you want to call it. But since September of 2020, it's an amazing feeling, because I feel like, it's something that is a statement you say after you climb a mountain. But I'm not trying to climb a mountain. It shouldn't be climbing a mountain. It should be just as easy as, hey, I made an investment. It was a good investment and it paid off. But unfortunately, the other side is not letting that happen, because clearly the stock market have been nothing but a pyramid scheme to take money from the non-institutional investors. Anybody else that will tell you otherwise is flat out either a shill or flat out don't know how the market works. If their agenda is not protecting the other side and being insidious, is BSing. Because when you have so many unknown variables, like the market maker can also take positions in the market, right there, stop. No need to go further. Stop right there. When market makers and congressmen can participate in the markets, especially since they know when rules and laws are to be brought out ahead of time. And now it takes until 2022, 2021 until they come out with some form of regulation that prohibits these congressmen, and they call it the blackout time and whatever. Did that seem to phase Powell when he was doing his trades? He did what, like 90 some trades in 2020 or 2021 in the blackout time? Who's going to say what? You know what's happening with that speaker, with Pelosi. The person that's inside the wrong career of her life. Like, why did you go into politics? Why didn't you just go into trading? You would have been doing it, and you would have been like Kathy Wood, and even above, obviously. She's more successful than Kathy Wood. And yet she's in the wrong job. She's in the wrong place. She's in politics. Why worry about politics? Why bother your head? Why argue and get capped on by Trump and his likes and other people, and be a hated figure in the U.S. Political world? Yet you are more successful in another field. You're in the wrong field. That's my point, guys. It's this whole entire, these are my points. Is like, just off the bat, off face value, I'm giving you a reason to why this whole thing, this whole stock market was set up from the beginning to be a facade to another monopoly that takes your money. It's set up as a casino, a legal casino, to take your money. And another way for a casino to trade the American citizen, or all the citizens across the world, working money, whether put in index funds or ETFs or whatever the case may be, and they transfer all those capitals, making it look like it's a working world, or it's a world at work, where in reality they're trading. And anybody else wants to come in on the action, we'll allow a couple of you to come in on the game. But the other 1,000, if there's 1,000 people coming in from retail, let's just hypothetically speak that, 2 or 3 people are going to be cool, or 10, and the other 990 are all going to perish. Those 10 are going to eat the meat and the bones of the other 990, because we're also going to eat ours. So they're good. 10 of us are good. And since they're good, 10 of us are good. That means the other 990 are all losers. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you go from when somebody wins, somebody's losing, and that's the stock market for you. It's not them, it's us. That stuff been changing. That's why you got Glofkin and the Melvin guy. That's why you got him closing down his hedge fund and billions of dollars in losses. Same thing with Citadel. Keep your eye on one thing. Remember when Citadel lent Melvin, was it like $2 billion? And they took half of it and they took the other half like a few months ago. Um, the fact that they were able to give them money, lend them money, and yet get that money back. And now here we are. Um, do you see? That right there confirms one thing we also have been talking about a lot. Remember when I said the allegations or the things that I was saying about how these hedge funds on the other side are all one hand. They're taking care of each other. They're telling each other like, "Hey, I am over leveraged on this. I'm standing on this." And because they know one guy falls, it's everyone else's ass on the line, one after another, because the price is not going to rise like 50 cent or 80 cent. When one person starts covering, you're going to see madness, guys. You're going to see one person is going to take it at least $15-$20 on their own, at least. At least. And again, that's an opinion of my own. We'll see. Um, and by doing so, it's impossible for the rest to not control, because now it becomes more of a situation of the only reason why they all trust each other is because no one have covered yet. Um, the only reason why they trust each other, once again, is because no one have covered. If one person covers, no one, hysteria is going to go on their side. There's no way they will trust each other at all, because the second person to cover is going to be a person that's doing it out of fear, not because they're forced to do it. They're going to do it out of fear, um, because they're going to be afraid if someone else is lying, or someone else is planning on going against the plan as well and getting themselves out free, because the first person that gets out gets to live uh, past this equation. And it's very promising. They're all looking at it and it's like, this is great. We can go out right here, even though we have all these talks and we have been talking with our partners, which is other hedge funds, and we've been trading swaps and trading positions and back and forth and all that kind of crazy stuff. But with that happening, now hysteria is on their end, because if one person covers, the second one and the third one are going to cover out of fear. They're all going to say, yeah, none of us is going to cover. And somebody will cover again, like the second or the third person. After, all it takes is one person to cover. Because the second and the third are going to be like, well, what if such and such goes ahead and covers? Then, because they look at their numbers, like they see that they know the numbers that they can live past, or if they cover at those numbers, they can live past those numbers. And there's numbers, there's brackets or certain ranges where they know if the price is in that range, we're doomed, absolutely doomed. And when those individuals are thinking of that, knowing that they don't have FU money, like, who was on that interview, they don't have the support of no government or blah, 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 blah. Not all of them have that support. You got to remember that. There's a lot of small time hedge funds that just wants to fit into the all-star club. And those are the ones that are going to be very, shaky. They're going to be like, hey, In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if by all this year and a half, they already transferred somehow. They swapped all these stupid smaller hedge funds, possibly have sold their shorts for or swapped them out for the same value because with the bigger guys, so that when this does go down, it goes down only on the big guys timeline, and they already know that the feds are going to come and bail them out. Uh, so that is much easier and containable rather than if it's with some wild, like there's some wild shorts with some wild small hedge funds, um, and then they rip it off, and things start going crazy, and it's not manageable. Uh, yeah, don't sleep on that. That is a possibility. But I 100% believe that the price, when one person covers, after that is going to be hysteria on their end, all saying that, why don't I just cover? And then let them say, hey, no one else is going to cover. Okay, that's it. Stop. We're going to hold it down over here. It's not going to work like that. Everybody knows the number that they will get obliterated on forever, and the number that could possibly cause their own money to be touched. Well, these guys always have their money shielded, obviously, um, offshore. So, what is AB saying here? Um, let's see. So, uh, 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 uh. Gloria, how are you, my friend? That way, I don't even have to look at the charts. Yeah, listen, Mikey, in the squeeze, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be online talking about, oh, look at the chart, look at this, look at that. When a squeeze starts, I'll just put it this way: people who are looking at indicators and who are looking at stuff like that, you're going to be hurting yourself. Honestly, you're going to be hurting yourself. You're going to be hurting others. I'm put it this way, not yourself. One, if you're going to paper hand, you're going to paper hand. With a chart or not, you're going to paper hand. Um, if your plan is obviously something different, like diamond handing or whatever the case may be, again, it's AB doesn't have a problem with you at any case. AB just doesn't like the day traders of AMC and GME. That's it. That's the only thing AB does not like. And if that's you and you're doing something like that, hey, all power to you. Good luck. If it helps your family and it helps you, best of luck. And I wish you the best. Do you? I know my path. I know my mission, and I'm set on that. Nothing less. It's not going to change. And I'm willing to live with the consequence of it. But I do have contingency plans. So I know how to take care of it in case all hell breaks loose. As far as um, the charting in during the squeeze, uh, yeah, you're gonna nothing just does this and then does this. Of course, it's gonna be moving up, down, and oh, massive hit out of nowhere, and then a little bit back down, like and the next thing you know, it might take another day or two before take a big rise out of nowhere. And that's the stock market for you. Of course, if it was much easier than that, then everyone will be extremely filthy rich. I wish it was something as easy as that. Um, but those, like I said again, the ones that are going to be looking at the charts, looking for the like to day trade AMC or GME back and forth during the squeeze, so that they can try to maximize, as much money as possible, or squeeze this thing out as much as possible. As I told you before, those are going to be the people that's going to hurt the most, and they're not going to forgive themselves, because the charting is going to ruin you. You're going to think that everything is working fundamentally, because that's the best way to chart. Like, the only way that you can chart 100% and at least have technical analysis that are good is if you have, like, movement that is very technically proven, and it's 100% fundamental. And nothing is fundamental with this play. Yeah, the charts move the same with AMC and GME. They move on the same algorithm. Who said something that's fundamental? Who even made that an okay thing? That's not normal. being on the same algorithm? That it's not supposed to. What do you mean being on the same algorithm? Like whoever basically started that, I know a lot of people are saying it, but whoever started that um, kind of made it okay. And that's not, it's not. It's two different stocks, two different companies with two different uh, outputs and inputs and financials and every single aspect. One is in depth and one is not. How do they move alike? That right there, my ladies and gentlemen, is why you should understand that technical analysis is not 100%. You can't have a full technical analysis in this play without looking at the options chain and the chart, and then you can come up with a little better. Not still not 100%. Nothing's going to be 100%, but a little more than 50% uh, educated guess on what's going to happen. Similar to what I made yesterday, and as you can see, it came to fruition. Um, we didn't go above as it looked like in the pre-market. And GMEs, again, same thing. It did not go over 100, and yes, it did drop. Um, right now, we're dabbling with 90, 92 and a half. So, like I said, the key takeaway was from today mainly was Tesla's. Tesla being down to the 650 and under, and even just breaking the $600 level was very gruesome. Looking at Bed Bath and Beyond, also another stock that made another 52-week low. All within the past 2 weeks, we made like two or three different 52-week lows on Bed Bath and Beyond. Keep my eye on that very tight. You got bad news coming out from it. Uh, you've seen, as we spoke yesterday, like Target and Walmart, and they also are getting obliterated, and that's nothing. That is nothing. They are way overvalued regardless. These companies, retail, is way overvalued in general because me having a business, I know that the cost on goods on everyone has skyrocketed. So, which means that all the retail stores or just distributors in every aspect, whether you're the manufacturer, the distributor, or the seller, um, the only person that's getting hit here is the consumer, which is us. Uh, but all these businesses have to up their prices because their supply and demand also got worse, and the manufacturer has upped their prices, the distributor has upped their prices, and now the seller has to up their price, which means it's more expensive. Again, inflation for you on the consumer. And when it's more expensive on the consumer, how did it make any sense that those retailers, since we're not buying as much, and that's been evident since 2020, not just 2021 or 2022, it's just so mind baffling that it took until 2022, mid 2022, to really show the truth. Truly be shown the truth now that, yeah, things are not being bought, things have gotten so much more expensive. And that should have been the reality, in my opinion, my humble opinion. That should have been the reality since the reopening of the market in 2020. We should have not been going no way up. Um, and we can thank our feds for that, solely for that. Because if we're going to meet a recession regardless, we were going to meet something that was going to be terrible back in the opening of the market after 2020, but it was time fitting because we were already going through a lot of struggling, and we came together, joined together forces hand in hand, and we went through that terrible time in our human history. You guys remember, we had to make the best of it. Everything was against you, human rights whatsoever. You had to be forced sometimes in your home between certain times unless you had a certain paper. At that time, I was very lucky. I had family members that were at they had good positions in the hospital that they worked for, and they brought me this clearance. It was like an army personnel clearance where I could have it on my dashboard, and if the cops were ever to stop me in those empty streets, I can just show it to them. Oh, yeah, I'm going to I'm CDC personnel or whatever. I'm going over there, and they'll let me go. I have to watch out. I can't mention who, they get into trouble. Uh, but I mean, looking back at it now, obviously at that time it seemed like it was legit. But obviously, looking back at it now, you know that how much fools the government made out of us. Um, but since it was time fitting, the feds could have let and the government could have let us go right into our recession that we were inevitably and unequivocally we were walking into, but much better off then than having to go through it now, 2 3 years later, when we all can't do it. I mean, you remember when we came out of it in the summer, started in March. I remember by June, July, everybody was like, I'm done. All it took was 3 4 months and people were up to here lit about this situation, and like, I can't take this anymore. I don't care what you guys are going to pass anymore. I don't care what your regulations are. I just want to go out. I want my freedom. I only have one life, and I'm not going to live it behind closed doors. And people were just coming out. They didn't care anymore, especially the younger crowds, because they're like, hey, this is killing the older and the elder. If I get it, I'm going to get flu or cold like symptoms and I'll move on. I'm just walking you through the psychology, guys, that people were going through. I'm not saying that I'm not condoning any of this stuff, but I'm just walking you through what was happening. These are the events. This is the truth. This is what was happening. Um, but now we go 2 3 years and we're thinking like, that's it. The market is good. Not just the market, but life is good to move forward now. And only to bring the people down even harder now and much worse, because the manipulation got even way worse. And now the recession that we're looking at, I was hoping, honestly, at some point, I was hoping that it would not have to come down to this. And I was hoping that it wouldn't come down to whether it's going to be riots, whether it's going to be this, all that stuff is coming, whether manipulation in the stock market or not. I'm not talking about us for a second. For a second, I'm talking about all the people that have nothing whatsoever. The common citizen that just goes to work and goes back home to his kids or her kids, um, or their single life, whatever the case may be in this case. But those average citizens that are not into the stock market or whatnot, we put us on a side right there for a second. We are all one group. We can put us on the side. These other common citizens that don't know anything about the market, don't care of it. They know it exists, but they just don't even want to bother with it. They just want to live life. Those individuals are going to be the ones that are going to be in streets burning, uh, you know, logos and breaking meters and whatnot. They're going to do that because we're going to hit a time after we really start crashing. Like, this is just the beginning phases. When we really crash later on, I would say around September, October, the the true darkness of this reality that we're in sets in then. Um, yeah, I can see that. I could see them doing all this stuff. I could see them rioting in the streets. Um, and we're going to be the ones that, if things go according to how things are set up for us and how we anticipate they're going to go, and we squeeze out and we get out of this thing, yeah, that's going to be the force that, okay, first they're going to portray us as the people that took all their money. So first of all, that's just one reason for you why you need to keep your after the squeeze. That's one. Two, those rioting people are going to be the people labeled to us of the people that hurt our money. You want me to tell you how? I'll tell you how. When these people start rioting and breaking banks' doors, they did in 2008, uh, burning buildings down and whatever and all that stuff, you're going to start seeing a lot of things cast like a cascading effect from this to this that will cost you from your fortune this amount, whatever it is, maybe all, maybe less, whatever, um, because of the cascading effect of what such and such is doing to that. Well, now, how, with what, against what? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not the Almighty God and the higher power that can tell exactly that, but I can see those symptoms, or I can see those signs or those moves happening down the line yet before they happen. Uh, because it's just, when you think about it from all angles and you really think deep and you go down this far, as we're talking right now, we're talking way far into the future now, way far into the things cascading and events. But it seems fitting because of what the devils have been doing. This is the most likely behavior that they would love to happen, so that they can cause that kind of stuff, and that way they can beat one side, and with one side make it seem like we're the front, and then when we're not no longer the front, this is the front for us, this other side, and we're always battling each other, retail amongst themselves and regular people, while the elite and the rich execute exactly every part of their plan that they want. um, that's why it's very important, guys. As soon as this stuff happen, when it does happen, you protect your gains. You protect your gains like they're your babies. Let's see. What else do we have here? Um, I think AMC Max Pain is at 1450. Uh, don't see it happening. Yeah. No. I don't definitely for sure. I don't see that happening, Pabloco. Um, it's I made the case for that yesterday. As you can see, we are making lower highs and lower lows on the chart, which obviously signals a downward movement, a bearish movement on the just talking technical analysis base here. Um, but I'll continue. Like I said, majority of these people already made their money on these calls. There is still a hard cap over 12. Yeah, they're still holding on to those $12 puts, most of them, half of them at least. So yeah, I don't see that obviously happening. Most of the people that sold their 1350 and their $13 calls have been mostly gone. Some are holding for deal life right now on those calls, that 12, that 13 and 13 and a half, and saying, please, for this last 45 minutes, please, Lord, let it go up a little bit. Let the price go up $1. If it goes up $1, then within 45 minutes left, yeah, they might just be making money, and they could sell the contract ASAP. But again, they're waiting on a miracle here. It's 95, 96% right now, a dead loss on that options chain. 13 and up, you're done. 12 and a half also. Oh my God, all of it is gone. Most of the $12 calls have been processed as well. The 11 and a half is being held. Half of it is being gone. That's why we're dancing around it right now. At any given moment now, all those, watch this beauty effect. Let's see if we could call this correctly. At any given moment from now until 4, those 11 and a half dollar calls, the other half, can be processed through. And the reason why is, look at the $11 calls. That's where the hidden gem for today. So the $11 calls got an open interest of 2,734 contracts and a volume of 503, which indicates to me, and same thing with the 10 and a half, whatever force out there wants the number to be somewhere between 11 and $12. Now, at any given moment, if this entity or these forces out there that are in control, if they from now for the next 45 minutes, if they process or sell just for money, not need to exercise or gain more shares or any of that case, just to make money, they can easily and drop the price. If they want to drop it lower, what they will do, all the 12 and a half, $12, 11 and a half, and the $11, all those guys will go ahead, even the 10 and a half, all these guys will just sell their contracts and take the money for it. If it's a market maker, then, you know, he's selling to himself and making for himself. So he don't need to show the money, right? Which is, again, once again, why I said that it's so hilarious of the market that we live in. If anybody says there's no manipulation, it's so stupid, because, again, the market maker is a participant in the market as well. It's like kind of saying like a judge that works with the defense and the prosecution team as well. And yet goes back on the podium and says, "All right, order." What is your case, and what is your case? It's obviously collusion, and there's manipulation left and right, so it's not a real case anymore. So what they could do is they could all sell their calls, those 11 and a half, $10, 10 and a half, and make them money or make them go away, or they can exercise all those calls, 11 and a half, 11 and 10 and a half, which obviously, since they're in the money, will, in this last 45 minutes, possibly in the last 5 minutes, you'll see a weird surge into the price, which is set up next week, Monday, for a movement, and next Tuesday, that is weird, because you're going to be like, where's this coming from next week? Well, that's because in these last 45 minutes, we're going to see who closed what and how they did it, whether they exercised. We will be able to tell based on the price action. Um, so we're with each other. Don't worry, for the next 45 minutes at least, and we'll see this. We'll shut this down at uh, around the four o'clock range. Um, and look at GME, as I've been telling you guys. Um, Expected, what did we say? The expected price was going to be around 94, 95. We're at 94 now. Worst case scenario is that it was going to go much lower than 90, in the $80 range. And obviously, I didn't also see that. But again, we have 40 minutes of action still. So anything is possible. Tesla, oh, okay. It tried to bottom out again, and now it's leveling out. 641. Boy. Workhorse getting obliterated. Palantir obliterated. Neo, Lee, and xpev. I remember when I was telling you guys yesterday on a Facebook group, when I was telling you on the live, there was a Facebook group that that Diamond and Goldman, sorry, not Goldman, Diamond and Bofa, Diamond from JP Morgan, and Bofa both have been upgrading, and several other banks have been upgrading those Chinese, certain Chinese stocks. And it's so crazy because many of these people don't know, literally out there, believe it or not, it's only a few portion of retail knows or expects this June 3rd order. Believe it or not, unless you're following Pantheon, Boss Blunts, me, um, I don't know. I haven't heard it. Maybe Froggy Styles. I think Froggy Styles. I haven't. Froggy Styles. The good thing about Froggy is that they have like 100 things at the same time, like so many videos every day. So I can't keep up with all the videos they have, but I check out here and there sometimes him and Mediocre, some of their videos here and there, and they have some valuable content, very valuable content here and there. So yes, maybe them. Who else? Tony Gennaro, the Massalorian, just by default. Everyone else, or even what's his name? AMC Bigums, um, everyone else, unless you were following this, what I just mentioned, you're going to be in the dark. I mean, if you're following Lou, you're going to hear Lou talking about now. He's apparently talking about June 1st is when it starts, and keep your calendars met and everything. And Lou, please go back to my month ago video and go back to my cryptic messages from 3 weeks ago. And then you can see how you're that late, that much late, my friend. Um, it's unbelievable. Like, and then you got other guys out there that yesterday some of you brought in here, I'm not even going to mention, that are talking about, oh, I sold my position, or no, I'm not going to sell, and don't even think that it's going to go to 100 and selling low. I mean, that's a different even realm of madness that coexists in our community, and surprisingly, it still coexists, and they surprisingly get views and um, support. So you guys can explain that one. I can't. Um, what else do we have going on in here so far? Oh my God, tlry at 455 today, almost a new 52-week low. Wow, wow, wow. You see how today ater is down 8.5%, guys, where bbig is very stagnant. It's like 0.54. It's not even up at a percent. It's just dancing normal, nothing crazy, nothing low. Uh, because yesterday the markets overreacted on bbig, and as I told you, every time somehow the algorithms of ater and bbig have been triggered. Like when one is like kind of inversed, when one goes up, the other one is going down. When the other one going down, the other one is going up. So whatever we went through yesterday, today ater is going through it. As you can see, we gained in the after hours yesterday like 2% or something. So bbig is back to like all that craziness. Remember in the beginning of this week when it dropped like 18%, 20%, or I think was it the day before yesterday or something like that? We were in the $3 range, and as you can see now, we're at 280. Um, we're not far off. We're there. All this is just a psychological warfare right now that they're doing with the community that's holding bbig, whether you are or not. Just explaining it in general for you guys. Um, the most bullish out of all the stocks what we're talking about currently at this time is bbig out of anything else, because it's the only stock that we see at least we have set dates on, like as far as June 3rd or June 2nd, when the distribution is settling and it goes out to everybody's account, that if you're holding bbig, for every 10 you get one free cryptide. We see cryptide now is on the market. Let me see, right now as we speak is at 1375. So you're potentially looking at getting a free $13.75. Remember when I was telling you it's going to be somewhere 8 to 10 to $15 a few months ago? That's what cryptide is going to be. It's not going to be $4 or $3 or $2. Uh, well, that's the first step, is seeing where it is. It's valued this much, and at some point it was even $25 when it first debuted in the 18th. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher, but you're going to get one of these for free for every 10 BBIGs that you have. That's why I say it's the most bullish stock out of all the stocks right now, because we have set dates that we know by those set dates you're going to get X, Y, Z. As far as the squeeze, that works itself out depending on how it plays out. I just hope the worst case scenario that I mentioned to you guys more than once does not occur with us. I do see obviously something occurring with the BBIG, whether they purchase the dividends, which is tied, and they squeeze that out, or they squeeze BBIG. Something is going to have to give there. Shopify got shopped out today. It went going back down to the 352, 340, erasing the last 2 days. So if you were a person that basically placed calls and sold them and placed puts and sold them, you would have made so much money. That's why you see I called it the week of sorrow, because this is unprecedented movement. Unless you're on the other side, knowing when certain buttons are going to be pressed, you're going to be taken down the river, and the currents are going to take you straight down to the waterfall. And if you're not lucky, you'll be really high like the Niagara Falls, and yeah, you're going to meet your end in the stock market. You can't, there's no way that any sophisticated investor even can guess that this, for example, looking at Shopify, and all the stocks did this, it wasn't just Shopify, but can gain within, in the matter of 3 days, it can gain 12% and also lose that same amount within the matter of 2 to 3 trading sessions. So to make money on it, you either had to get in on that day early when it was going up, and you had to get out at the right time before it started going back down. And to make money again on it is by placing puts, by seeing it going down today, a day later, and getting out early before it starts to rebound again, possibly next week or whatnot. It's crazy. That's, again, I called it the week of sorrow a week ago, because this was what you guys were going to anticipate this week. No, the stock that is getting really hammered for me on my own portfolio right now is Mara. It's it's just like what's happened with crypto. But this is beautiful for me personally speaking right here. This is not financial advice, guys, because this is a great place for me to keep averaging down even more and more and more. With the current attack that happened on stable coins, and stable coins showing that they are not able to be stable. And the funny thing is, like, Kenny Griffin said that oh, stable coins are they're by default, just by their name, they should be stable. And he was talking about like how he had nothing to do. He made it seem like they had nothing to do with what happened with Luna. He wants better regulations for the crypto realm. He's ripping Gary Gensler a new hole. And clearly, this is the words of who? See, this is why I said I could do a reaction to that interview that he had, and it will be a ball. We'll have a ball. But why do you think he's talking like this? He's talking because he wants to already introduce to you, to the world, the new market maker in the crypto realm, ladies and gentlemen. He's the cowboy that's going to come in and do what the SEC and everyone else mentioned above can't do. He's already introducing you to that. He's telling you what's the problem. He's sounding off to the world that I'm experienced in this. I know what's happening here, and this is what needs to happen. I don't own crypto right now, so come to me. It's going to come off to him in a way where it's like some sort of governmental entity or somebody is going to introduce him as the new market maker to to the crypto realm, or at least welcome him into the zone. He, like I said, we can talk about so much in that reaction of that interview, and there's so many hidden gems in that interview. Rhonda, hey, good to catch you in the live today. How are you doing, my friend? And Pablo, I think it's a balancing act. They have to play the psychological factors. Don't want to let us finish the week strong. Yes. Well, one part, Pablo, is that they don't want us to finish the week strong. And on top of that, we shouldn't even be finishing no week strong anyways, in the market in general. As far as for us, for AMC and GME, that's what they're definitely afraid of. these meme stocks, because they're over leveraged on them. But the stock market in general itself, should not be making any strong finishes or any of that. We're far away from that. In fact, we should be at least 5-6 years away from all that talk. It should be another low week followed by another low week, a stagnant week, a pointless week, another low week, another low week, and for a couple of years before we start saying, this is encouraging, the market is showing some signs, like before we start having that. Right now, it's all Fugazi talk and numbers that we're looking at, and like lines and charts that are not making any common sense whatsoever. Stocks are moving in a way that obviously is 100% controlled, not the reality of what the case may be here. So yeah, as you can see, unless you have your stocks and your plan pressed and pushed ahead, if you're day trading, you're walking on broken glass, on raw broken glass. Very lucrative, as you may know. Many people want to see that act. So a lot of people will pay for that. You get my like you get my sarcasm here, guys. It is like walking on broken glass, but it is very lucrative because, as you can see, if you placed calls, for example, on GME the day before yesterday, sorry, puts the day before yesterday, and you would have made money. And then if you placed the calls yesterday, you would have made a lot of money. And if you placed puts today, you would have made a lot of money. You see that? Like it's crazy on a daily base. It's crazy with Shopify. Same thing with same thing. You know how much money you would have made on that? Down from the 700s to the 600s. I mean, there was like about $100 difference in drop value. Like that on the options chain, you can if you have puts on that thing. And you could have done the same thing and made money on calls on Tesla this week as well. So like it makes no sense. There's no fundamentals on the market right now. Fundamentals has officially exited the building. So for those of you out there that's looking for fundamentals, Mickey J, let's see. What do we have here? Oh, I think I'm a little behind. Mikey J. The plan, get my life together with my set number, then leave some FU shares to hodl. Yep. That sounds like a solid plan to me, my friend. What is Max Payne? Oh, I think I passed this already. Did I? No, let's just repeat it. Yeah, Max Payne is all around. I think for them, Max Payne is, like Pabloco said, in the 14s. It's not going to happen. I don't see it. Actually, hold on. Let me see. 8. Statistics. The most Max Payne is actually $13, guys. The $13 strike price. Max Payne is 13. That's the price, the strike price that they basically do not want 100% to be near or to be on. As you can see, there is over, you don't want to F with me. I don't know why I'm thinking of Rough Riders. No, I'm thinking of Tupac songs in the back of my head. What the hell is going on? I'm thinking of like, I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You guys are like, AB is weird. Yeah, as far as what I can see from here, guys, we're looking at 13, maybe Yeah, I don't see Max Payne for us, anyways, occurring in this today, guys. That's not going to be the case. However, we are looking right now. It's very early to possibly say this, but remember what I was telling you guys earlier. Look at the 11, the 10 and a half, and yeah, the 11, 10 and a half, and the 10. Those are going to define what's going to happen with us, because these guys are not selling. They could be exercising their calls, all of them, because there's a good amount. It's not too crazy, but it's a good amount. And if those three strike prices from the 10 all the way out to the 11 and a half, if they all exercise instead of selling it, because clearly, they're in the money. If they settle and exercise, then we're going to see something next week, obviously happening. If these guys sell, then you're going to start seeing the drop happening. That's obviously, of course, besides what's happening on the market itself, like on as far as who's selling shares, who's buying. That's just one side of it. You guys see what I'm saying? It's not all. It's not only, everything is not just in the options chain, and it's not only levels. I mean, right now it looks like the bulls are in control. There's more orders coming in to buy than to sell. This is so crazy. Just looking at these, level 2 datas are so corrupt, but looking at these level 2 datas, wow, this is abnormal, guys. Wow, look at this. The first 8 orders are all $1,000 shares and up. Where do you see that in AMC normally? Not every day. What's up with the 22nd and the 23rd? You guys love me, or do I love you? I think it's mutual. The relationship we have is mutual. Let's see. Let's read some more. Pabloco is saying, AB, we should talk about these contingencies on the Discord. Okay, I'm game. Sounds good, brother. Sounds good. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's see. Mikey, hopefully, whatever I talked about by now, or what we talked about, could explain what's up with that number, or give you a better understanding on that. But if we need to even talk about it even more, we can on Discord, as Pabloco just said. We could definitely get more free on that and talk a little more free on the matter. Andy Cameron, how are you, my friend? They managed to dope so many people into buying call options every week. It's frustrating. See, here's the thing. I think the problem here is not outward. I think it needs to be looked inwards. I think our people, those people that are falling for this madness of buying weekly options, well, one, clearly casino mindset, gambling. Two, I don't understand, based on what fundamentals they do that. In all honesty, it shows very mediocre understanding of the market and analysis based on analysis on the current market that we're in, because every market has its own different, feel. And that's if a guy like me, you know, can foresee that this was going to be a problem, or how the week was going to be like a week ago, then these people that are playing weekly options, I don't understand what they are using as a breaking through method, or who are they following or watching, basing their work off of. You know, uh, again, I'll say this once again: there's a lot of people, and especially content creators out there, that are purely just news reporters. I mean, their channel is like a news reporter. It reports to you. But when it comes down to breaking down the news, what it means, I think they do a very terrible job, because and their getaway, getting out of jail card is, how we all say we all respect a man or a woman that comes out and actually is respectful and comes out and says, I apologize for, and owning up to their mistakes. That is true. But when it's done more than once, it loses its leverage. It's no longer okay. Every time you say cry wolf and you say I'm sorry, uh, I'm not going to welcome you in. Like I would definitely encourage everyone to own up to their mistakes and do that, but learn from them, because obviously, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At that point, oops. And as I said that statement, everybody shorted AB's live stream. It's not just Citadel. Even the creators, the content creators, all like short ABs. uh, and as we're talking right now, as I'm speaking, there is a battle going on the level 2, guys. There is a battle. Oh, ooh. Wow, 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 wow. Orders are unreal. 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 We might be looking at something interesting. I wonder what's happening on the 22nd or the 23rd. Da, 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 da. Luna, hello. Luna, you're still alive. Can we trade now? Are you let out of jail, or we can't trade Luna anymore still? How are you, my friend? America is the worst place to have a recession, especially with all the guns on the streets. Ryan Lawrence, you actually just brought up a very interesting point. Yes, you're 100% correct. Here, every average person, or that has, I mean, some states, like for example in Ohio here, I can have a gun without a license, literally. I think most of the states are like that too. I don't know, but at least in Ohio, you can have I can have a gun if I need, and I don't even need the license for it, as long as I don't conceal carry, because that's where you need the license, is to conceal license. And here's one crazy fact about AB. I don't own or carry any guns. On the other hand, my brother has like 20. He's licensed and he's everything conceal, and he just loves those things, and he's a collector and all that stuff. I think it's for its people. For me, I know that I don't ever want to have that, because that's something that I know myself. Like it's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah, definitely not for me. Cannot have a gun. um, Not that I'm gonna be crazy to use it or whatever. I mean, I could use it, but I just don't see that. Like, no matter what the case may be, out of protection, um, it's never, whatever the case, whatever the situation, it's not worth uh, somebody's life being gone, whatever it is, unless obviously they're coming to try to attack you in your home or something. That's a different case. But then again, the story where they say don't attack someone in their own home because they know where everything is and you don't know where everything is. Yeah, I do have some traps in my house. So it doesn't have to be guns, but if you're going to come really hurt my family or me, that can be dealt with without you having to die, but you would definitely be very aggressively hurt. Um, but dying is nothing. Nothing in this world is worth something like that happening to a life, no matter what the case may be. A soul could be stupid at one moment, but that doesn't mean it has to lose its life to try to learn from those mistakes. And as Lawrence just mentioned, yes, Ryan, everybody almost owns a gun. And nowadays, you see off of the stupidest things, people are ready to use that stuff. And then after that, it's like fire first, think after. And that's a big problem. And when things with conditions like this in the world, money is not available, loans are not being given out. You got to remember the American population is used to live on credit. That's how most people's lives are. Mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, everything. Once all that goes out of the window, now the lifestyles have to change. And when lifestyles change for the worse, not for the better, you're going to have a lot of angry people. And if all these angry people have weaponry on them as well, all it takes is for somebody to click somebody else. Like these people will be going out all pissed looking for trouble, problems with people. And all it takes is one person to clap with the other person, and two hands make the magic work. Next thing you know, you start hearing gunshots flying left and right, and you start hearing stupid stories about man or woman shot someone in the middle of daylight, in the middle of Central Park or whatever, for communication reasons or whatever, like something so stupid. That's what it's going to sound like. So yes, Ryan Lawrence, I totally agree with that part. It just has to get a little more tight, and you'll see how everybody has a different level of tolerance, and all that will be put to the test soon. Mrs. Tahiti, how are you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in here. Peter Jefferson. Xcar. My bad. Was typing something. I have no clue. Good day to all. Heard about Kenny G video. Gives me bullish vibes now that they are passing the blame off publicly. I mean, yes, they are passing the blame off publicly. They are also confirming 100% now, no more conspiracy talk, that recession is coming. He even said it is imminent. Uh, but he said it all cool and quick so that it can't be like, underlined. But yes, he's prepping. They publicly are even prepping us for that. And like I said, there's a lot of hidden gems in that. I mean, here's the thing. When he said, I don't think the recession, we're at least 2 quarters away before the madness happening, which means he's signaling to 2023 before anything crazy happens. If I tie the way that I can measure if he's lying or if he's correct is by June 3rd executive order. If June 3rd is postponed by the president, then what this guy was saying yesterday or the day before yesterday on that interview, he knew this decision. That way, this is A/B analysis for you, okay? You take it how you want to take it. If that gets postponed on June 3rd, that means this guy knew or already knows certain people in this world. You must agree to this, guys. You must understand this. There are certain people that will always know something before it happens. This world that we live in, that you think that it's all, by positions, and it's okay, the Constitution says this, that means this. Yeah, that's for the masses. But for the few, there are different protocols. So someone like him, if that June 3rd order gets postponed, he said this statement because right now, as we speak, there is absolutely no way that this market will last 2 quarters the way that it is. No absolute way that it will last 2 quarters. So when he said that, there's two things. One, either he's laying out a trap for other investors who just follow anything that a hedge fund manager or someone like a billionaire says. So he's trying to lay out traps so that people can go ahead and invest thinking that this is the bottom. on the market, because someone like Kenny G, the market maker, oh, the billionaire, the boy, the golden boy, and the boy wonder, is saying that we are away from the recession for at least 2 more quarters, which means if I am a sophisticated mindset, I need to be following his advice. I need to follow in his footsteps. I need to go ahead and buy this dip so that in the next 2 quarters, the market is going to rise again, and I will get out, make so much money, and then in the next 2 quarters, I can short the market. That's when the recession is going to happen. That is possibly what he's trying to do, because there's no way that this market can last 2 quarters without breaking down completely. There's absolutely no way, fundamentally, unless the president postpones that, which means the Chinese collateral can still be can pushed, and basically the Feds can continue to go further and further down the line with their repo and reverse repo operation, further making sure that everything stays alive, and you'll start witnessing the repo and reverse repo operations officially above the 2 trillion. We might even touch the 3 trillion at some point. If that's the case, that's foreshadowing for you guys. And then you will see something in the 2023 talk. So that's the good case and the bad case for you guys. There's absolutely no way that the markets can last 2 quarters like Kenny Boy said we're away from, because he did also right after that say, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is that. And he basically either laid out a trap for the masses that follow what they say to buy the dip, or he's basically knows something already that is already pre-planned, that they talk about in that club up there, that they already know that that's going to happen, that can kick this down to the 2023, further proving his point, saying that, yeah, when he said we're this far away, he was correct. It's one of the two. There's nothing else. I'm leaning toward number 1, honestly, but because I want it to be the case. But if it's but if it's the second, then hey, we're gonna be here. AB is gonna be here anyways. Oh my Lord, what is happening on the 22nd or the 23rd? Hello there. Holy moly. Yeah, these guys, let me see if these guys are exercising. It's not showing right now. Oh, obviously it's not supposed to show right now. Most likely will show later after, because it doesn't settle. But the volume should show. Well, it is moving a little bit. Yeah, some of these guys are exercising. Na 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 na. Let's see. GME at 95. Tesla 659, 660 almost. BBIG up 3%. So we are 287. 13 cents away from $3.50. We were talking on Discord, guys, apparently. Actually, yes. Me and Jeffrey and Pabloco were talking on Discord. We're talking about BBIG, and BBIG, I'm just to let you guys know, hear this out. BBIG is looking, when do I know that it's go time? The second we break 350 to possibly, to be safe, for me, is 360. 350, 351 to be exact, which is also what Jeff have said on the Discord, is the actual level, the break level. If we break that, then we are looking to possibly go ahead and make a new all-time high and squeeze time possibly. For me to be safe is 360, just so that we could confirm. Sometimes, charts can, or movements can spike up and then meet the resistance level, go a little bit above it, and then come back down hard. So I need at least 360, 370 to confirm that we are making a new trend of higher high, breaking out of the old trend of lower highs and lower lows, and staying under that hard resistance of 350, which eventually will turn into very high or very strong support once we break it. Amazon is balancing out. Shopify is trying to also balance out. Everybody cooling off, except NASDAQ. Well, they're climbing back up. They were down up to 11,000 at some point. Wow. $11,035, and now it's 11,332. Almost, yeah, basically around $300 rise back. That's very volatile, guys. And that explains why UVXY is what? Only 2% up? This. Oh, well, okay. 1784 came down because, they were dropping and now they're going back up. The UVXY and the VIX is obviously going down. Austin Gold is losing the 25%, the majority, half of the 25% it lost yesterday, or it gained yesterday. We're looking at Microsoft is looking like it's going to finish in the red. Not that big, but on the week, let's look at on the week. On the week is down 3.5%. That's not easy for something like the Microsoft, like a blue chip stock right here. You know how many ETFs and how many portfolios are hurting because of that? Many. The SPY is just being destroyed. It's rebounding a little bit, but not much. Still, the SPY is down 3% on the week, which is still big. NASDAQ is down 4% on the week. The S&P 500 is down 3.5% on the week, even with this balancing back up. Novavax is up 3% on the week. Berkshire Hathaway is down 2% on the week. That is not cool for them. That's equivalent to about $10,000 for that stock. So I know Ray Dalio just put some money in Berkshire Hathaway. He's probably not too happy. Warren Buffett is not going to have his returns this year. The unbelievable returns, the infamous returns. I mean, for the last year, Berkshire Hathaway, surprisingly, is so far 6% in the green, even with all this red. Talking about the rich club. This is going to be an interesting after hours, guys, just so you guys would know. Only to let you know what I know or see right now. You like my accent? I can play some accents too. I have a really good Indian's accent. Sometimes here and there I can do a British accent, depending on who is in front of me, if there's British people. Yeah, mate. At some point I had a Jamaican phase and I was a Rastaman. I have a lot of Jamaican friends. Some of them are professional players, soccer players. It's funny as hell. Holy moly, this is taking my interest now. Do you know how much dark pool action we must be going through right now? These orders are not small. I'm looking at this, obviously, even if it's corrupt, level 2 datas for AMC. The first 8 orders are all in the thousands. There's no way that that's either we're in a delay, they're delaying orders, or they're routing them straight to dark pools, even with the rise in the price portion. Because there's definitely way more buying than selling, and it's even showing it in the wow. Well, there's definitely dark pool action, because what they're doing is they route they route most of these orders to the dark pool, and then they bring them back. They bring the sell orders, and they process them as one big large order so that it can help keep the price down, because we have 0 large inflow orders, but we have obviously 1.95, almost 2.0 outflow large orders. So they're trying to suppress the price this way. Mickey J, is that you that put that one order of 100,000? Is it you, Mikey? If you guys look at the options or on the chain, now it's taken out. Somebody had an order. Ooh, another order was just gone for 15 or what do we have here? I wonder what's happening, guys, on the 22nd or the 23rd. You tell me. What do you think? Now 4 o'clock is closed. Let's see the wildness begin. All right. They're slowly covering their short positions, pretty much FNS over. Future whale, here's the thing. That has always been something I was afraid of, always, like them covering slowly. Um, the thing is, you can't sell that pill to people with, excuse me, I gotta blow my nose, guys. Let me just turn off the mic so you don't hear it. All right, I'm back. Sorry. So you can't sell that pill to people with the price, like, with the data not changing on the report, like, whether the Ortex is or whatever the case, other reporting data reporting sites or services. However, they could be, I mean, it's a possibility, covering all the fake extra stuff they've been dealing. But when did they start doing that? Because that's the problem here. How long ago did they start doing that? And if they started doing that, then guess what? We wouldn't be at this low evaluation at 11 or 12 or whatnot constantly. Obviously, what they're doing is because something has to happen, is they're starting a fire and turning it off. Starting a fire and, distinguisher comes and extinguisher and blow the fire off. And that's basically what I think they've been doing all along. Today was a perfect, this whole week has been perfect like this. That's what they've been doing. It costs a lot of money to do stuff like this. They're constantly doing it. The reason why I've made a case before too is that there's short shorts and there's long shorts, obviously. And the short shorts, yes, they could be covering those because that's how they've been making money, according to AB. Again, my public opinion. That's how they've been making money. Every time you've seen it drop down to crazy low levels, then it becomes much more difficult and hard for them to short and more risky. So what they do is they cover their shorts. They shorted it at, remember when we hit 34 and we dropped back down like crazy to this level? Well, 33, 34, short, down to 10, close your short position, goes back up, short up here, down, back up, short up here, down, buy your shorts back, which results in the price going back up here. Let them eat a little bit, return the shares, rebar them again, and keep making money. But times have changed for that because it was very lucrative back then when there was no hikes, rate hikes, when everything was just take it as you want it. Even right now with the Feds doing repo and reverse repo for almost $2 trillion a day. A day. Just so you would remember, another reason why this is more catastrophic, Mikey, than 2008 is because in 2008, remember yesterday when you asked about that and I told you the curve and the inverted yields and all that stuff. This is another thing, also another metric you to judge. Back in 2008, if my numbers don't fool me here, and my memory doesn't fool me, the repo and reverse repo max was like around $800 billion. And that was the max back then. We have passed that max over a year ago. Over a year ago. And over a year ago, we went over the $1 trillion on a daily repo and reverse repo transactions. So now we're about to surpass the 2 trillion, which I have no doubt we will, a day. Something we never, ever have been through or done before. So yes, that's also furthermore, or another reason why this is a worse, much worse recession that we're heading toward than any other. I mean, imagine when those trillions of dollars every day, that's keeping, like, look how fragile our economy is right now, and think without those repo and reverse repo transactions that are near $2 trillion every day, even the market as of today, even the one that you see right now with all its inflation and all that terribleness, even with all that, that is required $2 trillion every day to be given out and brought back the very next day in order for them to have the quality of this world that we live in today. Imagine what it would require to get back to normal, like before, like 2019 or 2018. What, like 8, 9, 20, 10 trillion, which is not feasible and it's not fundamental, obviously, by any means. That means, you know how much more printing that means, which means the dollar is also going to be what, like worth, instead of $1 is going to be called a dollar is going to be called a quarter. It's terrible. It's terrible, peeps. It's terrible. There's nothing that is good. And now they have gained control once again over the stock, even though there is a bunch of like 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and 5,966. And you know what's funny? Look at the sell. Wow. This is so crazy. This is how you know. Like, this is how we're gonna break in the after hours. We're gonna break, or possibly gonna break the 1250 and move on up. Because look at the bid and the ask. Can you guys see? Or is that light too bright? Right there. Oh, is it upside down? Because it's sideways. Hold on. Hold on. Let me put the lights out. Maybe. Maybe it looks stupid right now. No. Now it's upside down again, isn't it? So we're looking at okay, good. You see those 5, 5, 5, 5, an equivalent of almost basically 21,000. Look at the top order, 20K at 1250. When right now the 1215, 1212 is what's being suggested. So 12, we are 1202 the price, but the bid is 1215, and the 20K shares order is an ask basically at 1250. And now what they're doing, oh my god, this is amazing because they're obviously, since the difference is high between the bid and the ask, they're gonna find other orders. They're gonna give time for the system to try to come up with orders that are ready to fulfill for the lesser number, less like the 1215 or but as soon as they fulfill the 1215 means you leave. See, now we jumped from the 1202 to the 1216. Yeah, we're breaking 1250. I see it. Man, what the hell is happening on the 22nd or the 23rd? Okay, some light back again. You guys couldn't even see my face anymore. Holy moly. Okay, back over here. Um, Future will, are they going to take your bbig share away and give you a cryptide, or do you get to keep both? No, you get to keep both. As far as I know, um, again, as far as I know, you get to keep both because they're using the metric of for every 10, you get one free cryptide. Ah, there we go. I was like, what the hell happened to my mic? It's unplugged. Um, let's see, where am I at? Peter, I've been off of it for like a day, and I just keep seeing Kinney blaming us. The fact he and his gang is doing a press run is a great indicator of an imminent squeeze. Yes, for sure, Peter. I mean, the fact that he was even, this is what makes it even more personal, guys, and beautiful for me. The fact that he is trying to sound all lovable and caring about the people's pension funds and about people's retirements and stuff. The fact that that's the case, it's beyond me. You know, it's so hypocritical, obviously, but he's selling his case here to the masses of the non-investor, the people who are listening, who are also investors, but not personally. They give all their money away to brokerages to do the investing for them, or employees who recently seen their 401ks dwindling, and now since they're asking questions, you know, they're the ones who are watching something like this, and obviously they're not going to come and watch someone like AB, unfortunately, where they should be. They're not going to come and listen to somebody like AB on a YouTube channel but they're going to listen to somebody like Kenny G for verification. And eventually, since they will buy that crap, when that's why I gave you guys the example of that story, what's going to happen in these streets. And when I said Ryan Lawrence was correct also about what he was talking about and how it's going to break down, it's because they're already selling them this crap. And eventually they're going to sell us back the same crap on who did what that ultimately cost you the fortune that you recently just made, if you're not careful. Now, you are not like those individuals. You are listening to AB Live. So there's a big difference. I honestly think, again, once again, guys, if you are these people that are listening to the Kenny G, like majority of the people that are running home with what he's saying, these people are people that are not listening to the Boss Blunts. They're not listening to the Pantheons. They're not listening to the AMC Bigums and the Randalls and all that stuff. These people are just looking for the kind of like the mindset of when I'm sick, I go to the doctor. And in this case, Kenny G is the doctor. That's how they take him for. So the doctor, for once, that you think is a doctor, is about to screw the living hell out of you. And all they needed was that. I mean, when he said, you just took out a lot of teacher pension funds, like, are you proud of that? Like when he said that part, um, you know, to me, it was like, imagine just at this. Imagine when it's obviously we're looking to castrate all those other hedge funds that are short on AMC and GME, and this is just the doing of one. And it's not even close to being anything like the bigger ones that were the bigger fish that we're trying to go. This is a tuna or a sardine compared to Melvin, that is, compared to the big whales we're after in this process. If we're already labeled as such with this little sardine, imagine what the attack on us is going to be. The attacks are on us going to be when we start hitting the big whales in this game. And the mysterious big whales behind the scenes that are also funding those entities. I wouldn't be surprised if, again, I will say this again. I've said this months ago and I'll say it now. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if Gates or Bezos, or whoever else may be, are also shorting us. But keep looking at this. To backtrack from all this madness, if you're like running to a conclusion where you're like, so what do we do? Like, I don't understand. I'm in this place now in this corner. And it's like so much is happening. I need to simplify things. Don't worry. AB is here for you. Even if you're that kind of person, we're going to simplify things for you right now. Think of it like this. For one, Facebook got obliterated. Their stock. We're just going to make a small picture that we're super in. We're going to backtrack now and we're going to look at the whole picture image. And that should give you guys some comfort on the times that we're going into. Who possibly would have sold off Facebook? Maybe entities that need money to pay for something. That happened and Facebook never rebounded. Who sold off the living hell out of Netflix? Certain entities that I possibly think, because the money, where did it go? Clearly it didn't go into crypto. So where did the money go? No other stock has been surging, like flying high. Like it's not like the money went out from Netflix and it went into Shopify. So where's the money? Better yet, look at Shopify. Got obliterated. Where did the money go? Amazon got obliterated. Not fully obliterated yet, but they made new 52-week lows. I mean, again, the stock was in the mid 3000s, like 334, 3500, 3300. That's where it was dancing in those areas. And now you're talking about 2100 or 2200, on the cusp of going into the 1000 plus. So where did that money go? I can sit here and name a plethora of other options or other stocks, and we would be completely like, confused, as in like, well, what is it going to be? What's up? Um, wow. As I'm speaking, look at the AMC chart. It is the weirdest and the funniest chart I've ever seen in my entire life on AMC. Look at this. Do you see this? This is telling you, like, the light of the ring is on it. This is the bid and the ask is so screwed up right now. There's 21,000 buys, and there's exactly at randomly a magical 20K order that popped up out of obviously also nowhere. But the bid and the ask is different, and this one is not letting go. It's trying to let go for only 1250, which is good. Um, and I see it. I see it. Oh my god, yeah. Again, I wonder what's happening on the 22nd or the 23rd. Okay, let's see. So the big picture is, from looking at all that stuff, there's been some cashing out, and the money hasn't popped. Uh-oh. That's a serious question. It's serious talk. They shorted the stream again. Dropped the camera. So there's been a lot of, obviously, the big picture here, a lot of cashing out, but we don't see where the money is moving to. Where is it moving to? Because if crypto is pumping, then it's clear where that money is being drained from and where it's pumping out of. But it's being dumped or pulled out from stocks. But where is it going? It's not going anywhere else. It's going into private banks, private locations. People are holding out, pulling out their money so they can hold on to it. Uh, Furthermore, if that's the case, sucking out more liquidity out of the stock market in general, which means who are they trading with? They're trading with themselves. That's what they're going to be left with, trading with themselves. That's what you're with, ladies and gentlemen. In my humble opinion, I think that's what you're witnessing on a daily basis. You're not looking at a market where you're competing with many other people, orders, and whatever. We're competing with the devil himself and his people alike around. Um, let's see. Like I said, wow. Yeah, it's something special is going to happen soon. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air. Let's see something real quick here. Oh, wow. You guys saw the comment I made on the community tab in the community section in the YouTube. It was yesterday, taking a picture of bbigv. How yesterday it went down 22%, and in the aftermarket it gained 22%. And I made that post. It is like, what? Yeah, no, nothing to see here, Gigi. Whoa. Is this really what happened here? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not the same stock. I thought I just saw a stock at an evaluation that I traded. If that was the same stock I was trading before and it's an evaluation, like I remember when I was trading it, it was like it IPO'd. It was Beam something like a few months ago, and it IPO'd, and it was when I bought it, I also got warrants with it, so that was cool. I was able to sell the warrants and made a lot of profit off of that one on that. So I thought I'd seen it here, the same one, but it was a different one with almost the same initials or ticker symbol, and it was like at $14, and I was like, "What? This is where this is where it's at?" And I made that ugly mistake. No, but it turned out to be something different. Tide is 1350, a good closeout. Coinbase, oh, that's another one. Where did the money go? Didn't go to crypto. I wonder where. Target got hammered. Where did the money go? Walmart got hammered. Where did the money go? MKD, I made a post for all of you guys 2 days ago. Um, and I said, what's up with what's happening with MKD? MKD followed along the very next day to do a 26% fall. Um, so, yeah. Holy moly. Hold on. And wow, MKD just announced a 15-for-1 reverse stock split. Ooh. Problem is a Chinese company. That's the big problem. So I don't know if uh, the ratio is expected to change by May 23. So in about Tuesday, yeah, we're looking about Tuesday. It's going to be 15-to-1. That's going to be big. Uh-oh. It's not. I'm not supposed to be talking about this one too. See, every time that happens, that means I'm being shorted. Shorted ladder attack. That's gonna be big. Holy crap! Because this stock is shorted like, and today it went another 24% down, almost 25% down. Um, it's almost weird that it's reacting this way to that news. Like it's not supposed to react negatively in this kind of news. FYI. So if they do it, it's $1.50 at 10 cents. If by Monday they were to go to 10 cents, basically gaining 25%. If they were to gain 25% back on Monday and get back to 10 cents, we're looking at $1.50 for each MKD because obviously they're doing a reverse stock split. Interesting. Do you guys know, by the way, I have a question. I have a question now. Do you guys know what um how like I've seen the other day on Boss Blunts, he was able to connect his Discord over to YouTube. I don't know how that happened, Pablo or anybody else in here, do you guys know how that was done? Because if that's the case, then I don't need to do no software or editing software or any of that stuff. I could just link it over to YouTube. Um, I don't know how he was able to do it, and you guys can chime in, from the Discord. I thought that was really cool. Unless he's using a Restream or something like that, or Streamlabs, or OBS, and he's linking both to that Discord, the Discord and the YouTube channel to that, and then that software airs it out. That's a different story then. Again, once was look at it again, 1213. That is still, at some point something is going to cave, guys. That 20K order is going down. It's broken in, as you can see, into 5,000 increments, bid increments. So and the funny thing is, after that, you have no real major resistance at all. I mean, the last order is a joke. It's somebody put in 1,000 shares for 69.69. That's the crazy part. By the way, that's the last four digits of my actual phone number. Because remember when my first business was a cell phone store, so I could choose the number that I make. And when I was scrolling through trying to get an easy number, I got the easiest number. Every time I give it out, people are like, "There's no way that's your number." It's like, yeah, I particularly made this number, and I'll never get rid of it. And 6969 is the last four of my phone number. I won't say the area code and the other stuff for obviously bot reasons that could be around in here lurking with us. But yeah, it's hilarious. Somebody's got an order for 6969, 1,000 shares. Yeah, after we break that 1250 level, that 20K, it's a flight past the 15s. At least as far as the setup for now. Anything could change as we speak. But again, wonder what's going to happen on the 22nd or 23rd. Let's see. Where am I at? AV, how's it going, my friend? How do we get access to the Discord, please? I'm assuming... There we go. Sorry. Yeah, the USB was doing some weird stuff. Sorry, guys. So yeah, how do we get access to the Discord, please? I'm assuming somebody have already added the message. Let's see. AV. Sorry, brother. Okay, no one added it. Okay. AV, hopefully are you still here? If you're still here, I'll go ahead and add it right now. One second. Uno momento, por favor. Maybe he's happy with his couple of Spanish words. I'm trying to learn Spanish. AB wants to learn all the language, honestly. I want to learn, like before it's all said and done, I want to be able to speak 5 languages. Right now I speak 2. I BS my way around with probably 3 or 4 more, like some Habeshan, Ethiopian, some Swahili, some Wolof from Senegal, some Spanish here and there. The same BS with French and Italian, as far as French, like, oh, merci beaucoup, and oui, and, the stupid stuff, the small stuff, not the stupid stuff, the small stuff. There's a bunch of dialect in the Arabic language. So like a Moroccan Arabic and Jordanian Arabic is entirely completely different, because Moroccan Arabic is like mixed in like Arabic with French and a little Spanish. So it's like it's there's a lot of words that are just not existent in the Jordanian realm. So the only way that we can talk with each other or universally speak with each other is when we reverse to the uh, literate Arabic language, the original Arabic language, just like the original English, that is not forspoken too much anymore. Thou shall not come in. um, Sorry, AV. I'm on it right now. I know I got sidetracked. Invite. Look at that. Our Discord is growing, guys. And AV, hopefully that gets you going, and everybody else, whoever would like to. Again, it's free, guys. It's just the Discord to hang out for us, all for us over there. If we're not live or anything, we can contact each other and we can keep each other updated with what's happening. That right there, the Discord is the news reporting tool for me and for us. But as far as when we're doing live, we're not just doing a news reporting. We're breaking down what is happening either in the news or anywhere else, or what to expect. um, Christopher Santos, how are you doing, AB? I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you for asking. Hopefully, you're doing wonderful as well. Uh, One thing I would like to say, guys, is ever since what I said about what could be a possible diagnosis for me, I'm very, very, very happy and I feel great. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Um, like obviously like a family like no other. And one thing I would definitely say is that the Lord has always been giving me blessings and still constantly giving me blessings. Um, some of them might look like they're in disguise, but I don't obviously deny one single bit at the single moment that he doesn't always have the best interest for me at mind or in his world. So uh, it's a blessing every day. It's a blessing every day. So I'm not worthy of even 20% of the blessings that the Lord blesses me with. So not even 10%, honestly. So I will always be grateful and thankful for all of it, because He sees things for me and for everyone else who ever believes in Him. Obviously, um, much, 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 obviously further down the line, and He knows exactly what's best for us. So my faith is very strong. I'll just put it that way. So thank you, Christopher, and everybody else in the family for being there for us, for me. I wanted to know, Peter Jefferson saying, I wanted to know if this is rumor is true or not. If GME stock split going to be a 7-1 split or a 1-1 split? Um, well, there's no such thing, Peter, as a 1-1 split. There's a 2-1, and it goes like that because 1-1 is nothing basically. 2-1 is and it works its way up. Now, as far as I know, it's 10-1. As far as I knew, um, let me just refresh my memory on this. The SEC filing donates that the stock split is intended to provide flexibility. Da, 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 da. I do know that, was it 7? I know that the ultimate result is supposed to be 1 billion shares, because right now there's 300 million. So sorry, it's what, 3 to 1? Good, good that we remembered that, because again, I remember that it was supposed to be to going up to 1 billion. So it's 3 to 1, not 1 to 1 or 7 to 1. Peter, I don't know where that 1 to 1 is coming from. Again, these other channels, like we could see. Just remember this: the point is for them to have a float of of 1 billion shares instead of the 300 million shares that they have right now as far as the float. And that's as far as I knew. That will be voted on the 2nd of June, and we'll see what will come up of that, and when they will announce that it will be starting. That's the key points here for that. So that's to the best of my knowledge. Hopefully, obviously, I'm not wrong. Anybody, if I'm wrong, anybody can, chime in and double check. So I do know, again, once again, it's not 10 to 1 or 2 to 1. I just knew that it was supposed to be going up to 1 billion shares, and the only way they could do that is by doing the stock split. But all the shares have to come back so that they know what they're accounting for. We'll know all that really soon, like really soon. Yeah, the bullish setup is still there for okay. Where were we at? Um, Jeffrey's in the house. Well, probably for a while now. Um, sorry, sorry, that was me buying in the thousands. Slid into some calls at close. All right, Pabloco, there we go. Mikey J is obviously laughing on this. Maddox, how are you, my friend? In your opinion, is this a bull trap scenario until we run? Don't trust anything. I'll put it this way, Maddox, until we run. At this point that we're standing on, I won't trust anything until we absolutely run. Uh, and even then, it's not verified until you absolutely get out. Once you get out and you've already 100% agree, like, satisfied with, met your orders and you close them and everything, and your money is with you, that's when I would, completely be like, okay, yeah, it's over. I don't care what happens now, and it's done deal. But it is a bull trap until it's not. Um, you got to remember, we seem, and just to be reminded on this, we always seem to be moving with the market, but in many instances we're not. But ultimately, remember that we are not within this market, because we are on the opposite end of this market, in where when companies are not buying into AMC or GME or pension funds or whatnot to hedge themselves with that, because they don't think it's a fundamental play. They buy, when companies buy in this, because they know that they can buy this so that they can lend it out, because there's a lot of interest in shorting this stock. So a bunch of them got in because of that, and they knew that either way that they're going to come out winning, whether by lending shares or by ultimately the apes winning the game and they sell on a squeeze. So whichever one was the case for both of them, that's how they are thinking about it. Like, that's how they look at it. Some of those institutions or pension funds that joined AMC or GME cause, most of them are looking at it again as a win-win situation, and it is, because if you're coming in with the intuition to go ahead and dump shares and lend them out to make premiums, or when and you still keep your shares, and then eventually when the time runs, you go ahead and because you're not part of the apes. If it doesn't run, you already got your money back from lending out. If it does run, then you sell your shares and you double win anyways. You won on lending the shares and you win on the rise of the stock. And again, it's kind of like a master sitting in a carriage, and think of it as we are the riders of the carriage, and or the people pushing that. And if it's even older in time, we're the ones who's carrying that that king or the emperor's carriage as we're walking, because they're relying on us. In this case, all institutions are relying on us because they're not playing ball with us. If they have not been lending shares all over the better part of the last year and a half, we wouldn't still be here waiting. They need shares to do what they do, right? So they're not playing ball with us. They're playing their own ball. They're kind of playing ball with institutions and with the hedge funds. Uh, and that's why we, as I've said before, we are all on our own with this from the beginning, and we are going to be on our own when this is over with. Um, these all these institutions are going to be out very soon from the squeeze. They're not there's no institutional terms for diamond hands. They're just profits. um, that doesn't shouldn't mean anything to you. At the end of the day, like I said, we created this. They all joined in because they see the profit or the lucrative opportunity that we forged. They didn't forge. They're not going to push this across the line. If you listen to Luz, the likes of Luz and stuff, he over hypes and gives over too much credit for certain individuals or these individuals, whether institutions, Ray Dalio, his devil, Citadel, Kenny, whatever. Yeah, I feel like he just rubs these guys' tits or balls, tickles their balls a little too much. Yeah, like he's giving them way too much credit. And I understand maybe they're watching his video. He wants to get some recognition. He gets a lot of views, obviously, but that's not the case here. That's really not the case. These guys are not going to push us across the line. We are pushing it across the line. These guys are not line pushers. These guys are opportunists. Ray Dalio came in. He sees it. He seizes it. He's seen it. He sees the moment. He will capitalize on that. We are the squeeze and the line movers. We are the ones who's going to push the line across. We're going to push the ball across the goal line and, get it over with at the ranges that we anticipate. You think there's going to be a lot of institutions still around when this price is in the four figures or something, hypothetically speaking? Bob Loco says he live streams it. Discord has a voice chat. So how does that work? Jay Free is like, Bob Loco, you and I are the OGs of the Discord. You guys are the OGs of the Discord. Adrian Fernandez loading up. Uh-oh. What's good, everyone? Still holding the South Texas to either bankruptcy or Mars. AMC is so bullish overall that I'm going to call it code name Spain from now on. You know, and even on Discord, we're going to talk with codes. We're going to talk with codes so that even if anybody hacks our Discord, we have our codes. We know what we're talking about. Okay, my loved ones, it's Friday. Hopefully, you walked up with a lot of info today and a lot of breakdown to what I was talking about. As you can see, the bid and ask is getting closer now, closer and tighter. To make it a little more easy to go ahead and gobble that up, I think that we, we're gonna gobble up those 20,000 shares, that sell order, and on the ask as well. Once again, I wonder what's gonna happen sometime next week on the 22nd or the 23rd. I'm gonna dedicate a song to Kenny G after the squeeze is over and all these institutes, and it's gonna be by Bill Withers, and I might make a video singing it myself, saying, ain't no sunshine when she's gone, only darkness when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's home, when she's not home. Now I messed up the words. And this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know. This is gonna be hilarious. Eric Cutell, long time no see. How are you, my friend? Yes, we are very good. We've tackled a great deal of a lot of things, and Jeffrey said the only institutions that will still be around or be here during the squeeze are the ones still needing to cover. Yes, that for sure. Good one, Mijo. And I'm going to create some dad jokes that have hidden meaning to them just for us apes. The codes. Jeffrey, no, it's a no sunshine. Where you going? I can't wait until we can get at least that, like on the Discord, like what Pabloco just talked about. However we can make that work. I want to really make that work. So you guys can chime in on the Discord while I'm on the line. Man, doing well. Averaging down my AMC purchase price. Nice. When are you passing by Cincinnati, brother? You said it. You're gonna bring you're gonna bring some goodies with you. Hopefully your work is going good with you as well, and hopefully you and your family are all in great shape and health, and hopefully everything is great, brother. Welcome back. That's the most important part. Instead of saying I know over and over, it'll be cover. Doing great, actually. Adrian Fernandez, ain't no sunshine, and don't drop the soap. No sunshine. And don't drop the soap. I was just in Fairfield. Oh man, are you kidding me? That's like 20 minutes away from us, 25. Hopefully it was a great ride. A semi load of Starbucks coffee. Oh my god! The next time you're delivering the gold barracks, just let me know, Eric. Al is in the house. Ideas. Retail has more money than Kenny and his sources can provide. Loading up the entire long dated options chain and having an exercising plan in the money may be the answer. Anyone have any ideas? What's up, Rodwan? How is it going? So let me read this again. Ideas. Retail has more money than Kenny and his sources can provide. Loading up the entire long dated options chain um, and having an exercising plan in the money may be the answer. Okay, I see what you. Okay, you're trying to basically come up with ideas that could speed up this process or whatnot. Here's the problem, Al. You that okay, technically it can work, but you know how many people you need? Yeah, you're right. Retail has more money than Kenny and his sources, but you need the keyword here. We need all retail, not just our group. We need all retail to be on that plan. To do that, play long and exercise low, obviously, which is what happened with GME, or in other words, what we were doing back in January. So what happened was, boom, price starts rising. We already filled up the options chain. Price start rising. As we had multiple strike prices, when we got, let's say the price was at $40, our option strike price, and the price got, this is exactly what also happened in June of 2021. Price got over 40 because the highest price in the option strike price you could get on AMC back in June or prior to June of 2021, you was $40 was the max, and that was like, you were ludicrous to think that AMC was ever going to touch that or go up to that, and it did. Way more than that. So what happened to help it push, to help push it even past the 40, is the people whose options were in, like, for example, let's say the strike price was at 25 or 26 and we are at 40. Those were so far into the money that they sold a lot of it to keep money, to take actual cash, and exercised the rest so that the market maker has to hedge even more, get more delta, obviously, and buy those shares. And actually, it made the price even go more violently higher and higher and higher. Yes. So, Al, that could definitely be the case, but you need everybody on the same page. Because now it's not the same times as last January or last June. The market maker and everyone, I mean, he's seen it in that interview he had. He called it a phenomena of COVID phenomena. um, I didn't know that the stocks can get COVID, but apparently it's the COVID phenomena. Um, definitely did hurt. It was a blow. Um, you need that to work out. Yes, if everybody was like the hedge funds, where they were able to correlate and talk with each other and actually, um, you know, confirm things with each other and say, this is what we're going to do. And then, they all stick on it. If we can have something like that, AB will be the first person to say $100,000 per share. Because at that point, we solve the unknown. At that point, again, this is a hypothetical uh, world that we're speaking of, right? Al and everyone else. Because at that point, we would have solved the unknown zone that AB is afraid of the most, which is when people ask him about brackets, how do you know what anyone else or everyone else that's holding this play is going to sell at? Why would I have a bracket at this when, if other people's minds are way lower, then I will never get to live to see that price. Or if I underprice this, then, and everybody else is out there, yeah, I will be cool. I'll get out, but then I'll feel like an idiot because the price went way further than what I ever anticipated. So yes, this is the world we live in, Al. If you can get everybody all retail by number, all set up and ready to go, I'm with you. I'm with you. Nickel Slick, what's up, my G? How are you doing, brother? And success over speed, yes, makes sense. If the MOAS don't happen in June and July, do you think this will force many apes into becoming swing traders? Listen, nothing forces anybody to anything or doing anything except yourself or their self. So if the person wants to, I guess a better way of saying this is the people that haven't or who wants to even swing trade or day trade are the people that are seeing these low hanging fruits now and they want to join in. The problem is if you think like that, if you don't 100%, like remember what I was saying earlier in the chat today, guys, like unless you knew Shopify was one of the stocks, but it happened to many of them, even Tesla was going to go down $100 one day and then go up another $100 the next day and then go back again another 80 or $100 the third day. Like who the hell can know that is going to happen? That's unfundamental whatsoever. There's no way you can see that. There's no way that it's like that has nothing to do with fundamentals. And that happened with a bunch of stocks across. So basically what you're doing is you're in these times, you're walking in a land of filled with mines. And you don't know your next step could be your last. So if you're day trading and you swing trading, that's what you're stepping on. That's the world you're walking into. And you can't YOLO or diamond hand anything in these kind of conditions right now on as far as a day trader. Once you are in the green, you better run and you know enjoy your tendies. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you based on what we've been seeing in this week that is behind us now in the rear view, and we're getting ready for next week. And if it doesn't happen June, July, as I've told you guys, then the work doesn't change. Like I personally, will be around no matter what. Like as I said that many times over the months, and I said that I would be over at you know to 2023. That will be the case. You guys will all know the answer to this. Redwan, keep your attention on June 3rd. See if that gets postponed or not. If that executive order gets postponed, and we heard the devil say what he said a couple of days ago, as far as he don't see a recession hitting until 2 quarters from now. He's basically hinting. So if he is correct on that, the only way that he's correct on that is because he already knew that something like that is going to be in the works, where the president or the powers that might be will postpone this executive order to a later date, which means more repo and reverse repo climbing higher. And by the time we get to a squeeze, who knows? It could be either a 3 to 4 trillion or even 5. Who knows? There's a very, very good chance, and there's a big amount of people out there that are believing 100% that what's happening in the repo and reverse repo is equivalent to, and it's rising up because they keep making their money, and apparently that goes into their collateral that they get money from assets. But clearly, since it's gonna be ending June 1st, here's what makes you feel good. I don't want you to be, when you leave from here, I don't want you to feel like uptight. That's why one of the reasons why you always see AB laughing and smiling and all this stuff, because he covers his bases. I want you to always cover your bases, no matter whether things are red or green. And June 1st, or for the better words, I've always been saying in June, they're going to start, unloading their balance sheets. And clearly Lou has been watching, I think, my channel, because now that's the number one thing he's telling his following. June 1st, June 1st. AB is not giving you dates. AB gives you actual crap. He doesn't tell you June 1st. If you know, you know. AB is not telling you that. And AB will not give you this. When I give you a cryptic message, I also give you reasonings behind it so you can make sense to your mind, so you can grow as well with the knowledge, not keep the knowledge to myself. That's if I had it even, and give you cryptic stuff or crap and say like, yeah, and sound like all cool and secretive and all that stuff, like a James Bond or something, and basically stroke my ego online in front of many people. It's pointless. It's childish. So yeah, June 3rd. Is it going to be climbing up higher? If they push that executive order, Redwan, and for everyone else listening, then you can bet yourself that you can ask that, yes, I personally, without giving you financial advice, will give you a break from July or June and tell you, prepare for 2023, my friend. Somehow, obviously, through repo and reverse repo, you're going to see, you know, the market still hanging on. You're going to see a bunch of opportunities emerging here and there that further helps them make more money, because that more opportunities means more traps for us and many people who will, if this don't squeeze by June or July, feel like, hey, I can't do this. It's been since January of 2021, or people like me, for example, September of 2020, and now it's about to be September of 2022, and it's like 2 years, full years. I can't wait a third year. AB is not going to say that. AB was not going to say shit like that. AB is going to just act accordingly. And if that is the case, I'm going to have a lot more shares by then. And you guys, I know you guys will definitely puke if you see the amount of shares that I have in these plays. You'll definitely puke, like not out of disgust, but out of the fact, like, what? And that just gives me another chance to gain more. And for you too, all of you. Why would I need to look at an RDX or RBLX or anything else when the it's kind of like looking at the side items when the entree is looking right at you. You know, I'm gonna dive into the entree. I'm gonna get my steak. I don't care about this egg roll or fries or whatever the case. I want my steak. I'm digging into my steak first, and then we can deal with whatever is on the side items. That's just the AB way. That's it. When I see fries, I see the value. I keep my eye on that. I want nothing else but that. So it's a win-win situation for you guys. The people that feel like, oh, now I gotta wait a minute. If you're not, you should be worried. If you're not, you should be worried, because that's how people get off the blockchain. I see that. Oh, the internet connection was a little unstable. Hopefully you guys, didn't suffer from the short ladder attack that I just received. They don't want me to say stuff like this, guys. The stuff that doesn't, again, they want to be controlling your emotions and your constant, thoughts like, oh, I'm constantly under pressure. So let's see. Where are we at? Jeffrey says that is what I've been saying. The difference between now and early last year is everyone is, or a lot of retail are thinking different things. Nobody is on the same page. And if it doesn't happen at that time, it won't happen until 2023. See, there you go. For whatever it's worth, if you never trusted fully, or you gave me 50% to AB doubt, maybe Jeffrey can be the other 50%, and now you have more conviction. I'm not saying we're giving out financial advice here, or any of us, but again, two people are thinking on the same page here. I highly respect Jeffrey as well. That's my brother. I can't wait until we go and we connect and we all hear each other out as we speak live as well. I know it's much easier than chat and messages. I know that, guys. Hey, Pokes is in the house. When AB live, when I wake up, F yeah. Well, F yeah, brother. Al, let's all get on the same page. Kenny and his are on the same page, right? Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time now, Al. Al, are you in our Discord? Join our Discord, my friend. I put the link up there in the top, not even too long ago. So join the Discord and come in. We got some stuff to talk about. We can talk, all of us. Join in on the fun. It's free. Don't worry, guys. Nothing will ever. And AB, personally, here, I'll tell you this from now. If you ever, before this happens, I know we're not very much coveted, which is beyond me. I don't know how. Like, people will go listen to some other crazy stuff, act, and then don't come to listen to real quality stuff. Hopefully, that's it is. You guys decide. You guys are the judges on it. But for future reference, if you ever get approached by anything that asks about money, by any with any from any production, from any way, from any direction, whether it's on Discord, whether it's here, whether whatever, just know that it's not AB. I'll tell you that from now ahead. If AB is gonna say something about money or any of that, you will hear it on the live from my own mouth and face, so that you hear it. But as far as a message, oh, send me this or send this to be a part of this or whatever, I've seen some of those things on some other creators' pages. I'm just warning you and letting you know from now that that will never be the case. It's not AB that's sending you that stuff. Jeffrey, Poke's just killing the options chain these days. Buying them puts on the mudsliding spy. This play is having less unknowns by the day. No reason why we can't win the more money, with more money, more people, more flexibility, less urgency. Yep. Jeffrey. Well, of course, Al, but you're going against a really, really serious, the most powerful individuals on the planet. On the planet, these hedge funds aren't playing. Who you think they're managing? Who are they playing with? Whose money? Like, maybe Melvin was sweet and nice. Do you know who? Like you can expect celebrities like the Michael Jordans, the you can expect the most known celebrities. You can expect the big boys. You can expect you know, leaders, country leaders, or country leaders, or house speakers, congressmen, and women, uh, world's wealthiest and influential people could be putting in money. Uh-huh. So they're not the face, but they're in the background. And you basically, I mean, you could potentially right now, you're going against Jeff Bezos. Again, it's not an allegation that I'm making here, but potentially you are. We are. And in order for us to take, and I feel like we, at some point, even the Facebook guy was around it. Because again, it doesn't make no sense. Like, these times, for what? Like, everybody still uses Facebook. The drop in Facebook was unwarranted or unfundamental unless Facebook was involved in something it shouldn't be involved in. I wonder what. Who knows? I didn't buy that report and whatever that crap they reported, because obviously, not even a month later, they reported that, oh yeah, look, subscriptions are back up through the roof and everything, and didn't go back up to its the highs and whatever price target it was at. So yeah, we're fighting the world's worst and most influential and powerful individuals. You got to put some respect on that. You have to. And sadly, if it was much easier that as we anticipate, we would have been done long time ago. But that's why that side, they're not, you're going against, again, the worst people and the most powerful individuals on this planet. They're not going to go off like this. They're going to try, and one, they will, at some point, they're going to do an offering where somebody is offered in between them. I mean, they already offered, as I told you a while back, Bill Huang and now the Melvin guy as a sacrificial lamb, way before they even announced it. And now, you know, it's announced with the Melvin Capital guy. But in between, or among themselves in that circle, they're also gonna do a lot of, okay, who got worst? Okay, you got really screwed, and they're just gonna, like, you know, with that person's consent or not, they're just gonna ride them. They're gonna literally like throw them in the meat grinder. Don't be surprised if you see one of those top wealthiest individuals in the planet today in the top 10. Don't be surprised if 2 or 3 of those gets into the meat grinder and no longer is relevant around us, and some other people rise up if things work the way that we anticipate. Like my wife says, you can look at the takeout menu, but you better come home for dinner. That's a good home, Jeffrey. May the Lord constantly keep that home flourished and well and happy, and you know, it's hopefully for forever, you know, and we'll see your home and all the families' homes and all the people across this planet in general, all the people that deserve it, the good people homes as well, can be all filled with wealth and happiness. Um, and only the Lord knows, you know, who and is who and which is which and who deserves and who doesn't deserve. So, Adrian Fernandez, I'm sure Citadel does naked laundry for major drug cartels. That's probably another reason they scared to cover, because they literally can't afford to lose El Chapo's game money. It's a big possibility. I mean, the guy is working from home. He could have a lot of hits out on him. And the only way that he could run away from those hits, is by staying at home, where all his top. I mean, the guy did buy. Remember, he bought a presidential. Um, well, who is that Asian guy? It's an Asian-looking guy. He's American, but he's an Asian-looking guy who was on the Secret Service. He was a leader in the Secret Service detail of previous presidents. I mean, that's top dog shit, guys. That's who works for Kenny now. It's been for like months now. Jackie Chan Jr. No, this guy is some elite shit. It's not like some movie style stuff to show you. No, this guy is the real deal. Like, presidents used to. He was in the detail of many presidents. Yeah, that's like what's his name, Gerard Butler from whatever that movie, that, what is it, has fallen, something fallen. Uh, but he's like that. Yeah, he's the equivalence of that Gerard Butler. Uh, you know, and now he's with Kenny G. Can you imagine Kenny G portraying the good president or the good person who's trying to save people? It just doesn't even suit him. Like, I can't even entertain the thought. And he's being saved. Yeah, you might be saying that as a joke, Adrian, but it's true. It's a big possibility. I mean, in fact, I put 30 to 40% on that idea of it being true. You don't get that high of a level of security detail just because people retail hates you, or you get death threats. Look at those celebrities like Kim Kardashians and all that stuff. They all get death threats. They have security detail. They pay them a couple of $100,000, $400,000 a year, but they're not ex presidential detail, Secret Service individuals. That you only get people like that is if a government is after you, or if a major cartel is after you, like, or some mafia is after you, and it's not even like a small mafia, like no, like not no street mafia, like it has to be one of those, like the Rothschilds mafia. That's the only reason why you get individuals like that guy for Kenny. Um, in the same time, I would not ever want Kenny to ever pass, away. I want Kenny to be alive for all of this. And then I wanted to live through it afterwards too. Because we're gonna be, I mean, can you see, do you know how many of us are gonna be bothering the shit out of Kenny on a daily basis? Like after we all get our money, every day for the next probably 20, 30 years, people are always gonna not forget, like he's gonna get cards, like special cards, like on every Christmas, like thank you for making this Christmas a Merry Christmas for me and my family. Like so many people are never gonna forget him. He's gonna be tortured more alive than dead. So I'd rather for him to stay alive for this. The cartel, and in his interviews, by the way, when you looked in that interview, he keeps looking worse and worse. Uh, hey, the Lord works in not mysterious ways, but in obvious ways. Um, One bad ass agent dude isn't a challenge against 30 cartel members with 50 cows. Well, uh, that dude again, like I said, he's not like the showman of Jackie Chan on this. No, this guy is one of those. Uh, okay, three people, West Wing. All right, five East. Shoot like while he's talking. Okay, make it two. These guys are, again, they protected, they were the personal detail of presidents. It's a different kind of thing than, no, this is no Bruce Lee or Jackie or nothing. This guy can probably fly a jet on his own if a pilot dies. He also is equipped to do weird jumps or something, crazy things that nobody on the media you see can do. Intelligence, even probably even deciphering things or cutting off the red wire or the blue wire in the movie. This guy is the real deal. The cartel literally rides around with anti-military weapons. You think a single super bad ass Navy SEAL is going to stop them? Uh, well, of course, again, this is the matter of masses. Of course, in this case, yeah, probably not, but you never know. He's not the only one that is working, I mean, the guy has connections on the inside. Obviously, he worked there for 20 something years or whatever. Um, you never know, man. Like this guy could, like, quick, like, like, hey, I need 200 or 100 people to show up on the next 18 seconds. You never know. Um, After we mow us, I say we all pitch in and send him a left side bedpost. Let me find out he's the person Jason Bourne was created from. He probably is. Um, so my loved ones, thank you so much, guys. It's been 3.5 hours strong. We spent a really good time today. It's 5:30. We're back to the sell-off, as we can see, and now we meet these bad boys again. See, we're right at the four orders that are exactly 21K. Um, and in return, there is 20,000, just one massive sellout order, but it's at 1250. In order for them to break these 55556, they need to, sell them out. But then again, the 20 is not going under 1250. He's not letting it go for less than 1250 is the ask. So they're trying to come up with other orders that can fulfill that many, which I don't see the case happening. Look at the gap. The gap between the ask and the bid is ludicrous. You don't see that every day like this. Wow. This is where market makers thrive, my friends. This is where exactly market makers thrive and make a lot of money. Because of the further the difference between the bid and the ask, the more money obviously the market maker is making. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've taken enough of your Friday, 3.5 hours. Didn't expect it to be like this, but again, it's always the unexpected with you loved ones. If anything happens, I will come up in small videos or small lives later on tonight. I anticipate right now as we speak a weird situation to happen with crypto. As you can see, is rebounding a little bit. It went up from the 28,706 on Bitcoin over to 29,265. Almost, I would say a rise of 1.5%. Which again, if you're a swing trader, you collect these and you make money off of, obviously a lot of good money from that. It's going on across the whole sector. I would anticipate from now until Sunday for crypto to possibly either do something way too exotic, and if it doesn't do that here and there, then I anticipate it to be, until Sunday. That's when you see something crazy happening. I think that you're going to be day trading crypto. Be careful. But I anticipate something wild to happen Sunday or Monday. So we'll see something really wild. With all that being said, hopefully AB did not disappoint yet again, guys. And you guys always don't. Thank you so much. I love you and appreciate you so much for all your support and your time that you give me. Thank you for the valuable tips and lessons that you bring up as well. All of you are amazing. And if you haven't joined the Discord, please go ahead and do so. The link is in the comments. It's free. We're most of the family that you see here is there, and we talk. You have any question, most likely if you ask it there at any given time, most likely somebody would have an answer for it. As said, Pabloco and Jeffrey right now are the OGs over there, of course. Looking to add more. So guys, join it if you don't. And thank you so much for liking the video. I appreciate it. It brought more people to watch. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Obviously, I see all those numbers and you guys are amazing. And yet again, go enjoy your weekend. Once again, much love and AB Investments. Thank you.